My name is Trip Starlake, and I welcome you to the second Star Slug book club here at the Starlake Observatory. Hello! Oh gosh, what? Oh, Toto, thank you for subscribing for 4 months. Space lesbians. Yeah, we're gonna talk about space lesbians today. Dr.
Yeah.
Toto Hex and Realm and I, we read the second half of A Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martine. I will let you two introduce yourselves, and then I can gush about the book a little. Go ahead.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah?
No, ladies first.
Yeah, I'm just shouting out that we're live on my Discord as well.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sweet. All right, then
Totally.
I'll just throw it in real quick. Hi, everyone. My name is Realm. I am a space VTuber. I'm happy to be here and happy to talk about this wonderful book. So I hope we're all excited because we're gonna be like, oh my god, this happened, and oh my god, and oh my god, but it was good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Dr. Toto Hex, the smartest science turtle, and your Ocean Oni-chan. Hello, hello.
Yes!
I also finished this book, and I was like, what happened? Oh my goodness, I can't believe.
I know. I know. Also, hi, Anime Veteran and Lunar and Chaos.
Chaos, I'm Lunatic. Hi, Anime Veteran.
Hello. Oh, yeah, before we started, I just wanted to applaud Arkady Martine, the author of this book, because she won her second Hugo Award for her sequel to this book called The Desolation Called Peace, which I'm so happy. I was really happy for a lot of the all the choices this year. I thought were pretty decent choices, but I'm so happy. Like, a sequel doesn't usually win Best Book of the Year, right? So, yeah. So
2 out of 2.
2 out of 2.
Next
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
Here, next book. 3 out of 3.
3 out of 3. I hope. Oh gosh, I would hope so, but we'll see. I hope she releases another book next year. I think that's the plan. But yeah, we're here. So we're gonna do the same thing as last time, where we're gonna talk through the plot and then like give our opinions on it all. So if you have not read the book yet and you want to go read the book and then watch the VOD later.
There'll be massive spoilers.
Yes, massive spoilers. Yeah, big grats to Arkady. Yay! Yeah.
Yeah, like, can you guys believe that, like, 35 all-terrain Tundra vehicle became the new emperor? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Big spoilers.
Oh god, I'm sorry, that was loud. Anime Veteran, thank you for gifting a sub to Monotalk. Thank you!
Monotalk is one of my mods. Wow.
That's great! It's funny.
Hey, look at that.
Thank you! Oh gosh, but yeah, when we last left off, a lot had happened, but I think the most important thing was that Mahit had realized that the very important imago chips that are within her spinal cord, Iskander was offering them to the Emperor. That same fragile special technology. And that's a problem, because it's her culture's technology and it's supposed to be a secret. But it's like the worst kept secret in the whole book.
No, everybody knows.
Literally everybody knows.
Once again,
The big secret is that everybody knows.
literally.
It's so
Big
funny.
secret. What the fuck did Iskander do this time?
Now, what did Iskander do
Yeah.
this time?
And then the emperor is like, I can get their brain chips so that I can have a clone son and put my memories in him so I can become reincarnated into a younger body.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
Something like that, but it really is just like that. Like, I guess they know, but they really don't know how it works. Like, at this point, Iskander is just telling him that he could live forever, and he's just like, who's gonna tell him?
Who's gonna tell him? But that's not how that works.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
But the emperor is actually not a bad person. I was like, oh, it's like evil emperor trope, but no, he's actually a good king.
Yeah,
He's just like worried, like, oh, if I'm not here, people are gonna fuck up all the shit.
Yeah,
it's better for me to be reborn.
Yeah, it is actually. It's more of a noble cause. Like, if I'm not the emperor, we'll go to war again. I don't want that. Because people are experiencing peace.
Yes.
I still don't think it's a good idea to ruin your clone's brain, but like, yeah, you had
Exactly.
good intentions.
Yeah, it's it was really interesting. You'll see it just like later in the story and when we discuss it later, but it's, I mean, as far as the books that I've read, you really haven't had a chance to like understand the deep mythology of someone who's lived for that long, held on to as much as he's had, and has experienced as much as he, you know, has done.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just like, he reflects on it and you're just like, you know, like explosively significant.
True.
Which I loved. So,
Yes.
not a dick, just stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Chaos says, imagine arriving to this empire thinking no one knows about the Imago. LOL. Worst kept secret.
True. It's true. Mahit had to adjust real fast. She's like, oh, okay. Never mind then.
Well then.
Yeah. Oh.
It's so funny because it's like they don't want her to know that they know, so they don't talk about it. And then she realizes, oh shit, everyone just knows.
True. So she's like, well, guess I won't keep it a secret anymore.
Yeah.
I guess to start things off, we'll start with chapter 10 because that's like we've read chapter 10 to 22. I think that's how many there are in this book. The chapter 10 made me remember again how important mail is in this book. Mail has a really big plot point. And this entire chapter is just Mahi reading her mail, basically her info fiche sticks. She finds out that 8 Loop is the person to request the new ambassador from LaSalle Station so quickly. 8 Loop is in line to become one of the 3 people in line to become the Emperor. She's also cousins, or she's related somehow to the Emperor. Cousins, siblings? I can't remember.
Yeah, they're Paish Sibs, whatever that
Paish Sibs. Yeah, I think that actually means siblings.
Oh, okay, like
I
blood
think-
siblings.
Yeah. I'll look it up in a
Was
second.
it the same like blood sibling as 19 ads?
No,
Like-
no.
No, the
19
Emperor.
Is also text, so
Yeah.
No, I
That's
meant
like
I meant
your
like
war
they
band.
were your war band like
yeah.
companion.
So they're not siblings. They're just like your closest allies kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
you bleed together, die together, kind of.
Yeah.
Alright.
Together,
Yeah.
tent together.
Tent together.
Tent together.
Yeah,
Apparently they slept together.
yeah.
Casual.
It's funny. She also gets a message that 12 Azalea has indeed taken the Imago chip from the dead body of Iskander. And that someone is following him, and he that's like what the entire message says. And a third message from Dekakal Onshu, who I think is the pilot minister from LaSalle Station. It's Pilot's Hermione, I can't quite remember. It's another warning that Mahit may be a traitor or have been sabotaged by the Heritage District or Heritage Minister from LaSalle Station. And Mahit's like, what do you mean? I don't understand what's happening. Why am I sabotaged? And then Three Seagrass walks in, she busts on the door, and she's like, well, I got a message for you. And she has arranged a meeting with the Emperor for Mahit to talk to the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a super big deal because like she's basically like just an ambassador. She's not even a citizen.
Yeah.
And the Emperor's like dying.
Yeah,
so
the Emperor's like,
get
heck
a
yeah.
private like conference with the Emperor is a huge deal.
It is a huge deal.
They do not skip on a description of how pale and like sick he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's like pale and bony.
He's pale, bony, super sick, but he's like, I feel like they describe him as looking like a kind old man, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't look like the kind of person that's like trying to take over the world, I guess. He's not.
Who's that one guy from Game of Thrones who is like the old dude in the streets? I don't know if you guys saw Game of Thrones.
Yeah, old dude in the streets. Are you talking about like
Yeah,
the
in
one
the
who
city.
trains Sansa?
No.
Trains Arya?
No, the old dude who was like leading a rebellion against like the government. Am
Mm.
I don't
And the
know.
religion. I have no idea. But he's
Wait,
like,
do you mean do you mean that religion that was in like the 5th or 6th season?
yeah.
I think his name was
Anyway, we can get off of it. I'll
Oh,
post
okay.
a picture.
It's okay. I've never watched or read Game of Thrones, so I don't know. Oh yes, so the Emperor and Mahit have a conversation where they like won't answer each other's questions. Cause the Emperor's like, "Hey, I need that Imago," and she's like, well, what happened to Sander?" And they like don't actually, the conversation doesn't really go anywhere. But the Emperor does explain why he wants the Imago tech, which we did just discuss. But that his ruling has been peaceful for those within the Empire, and he wants that type of ruling to continue. After he's gone, more war and expansion, like more colonization, will break out, and he doesn't want to raise a generation that's just known war. That will only know war, I suppose. And then she leaves. Seagrass, I think it's implied that Seagrass falls asleep because she's gone for so long. Mahi's gone for so... Hold on, let me read.
Because I don't think so, because later it says she's been up for like 30-some hours.
She, I think it said she fell asleep for like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were both up for, like you said, like...
Yeah, they had been up for
40
far too many hours.
Yeah, this whole like book takes the place of like
5 days, yeah.
5 days, it's like not a lot.
And she gets a message from 19 ads that's like, she said, or 3 Seagrass got the message for 19 ads, from 19 ads, sorry. She said to tell you that she wasn't going to stop you from doing anything ill-advised, that she wasn't going to stop you at all. And she's been cut loose from the glitter shine of the sword clutches.
What does that even mean?
She's free from the prying eyes of 19 ads for the time being.
Yes. Even though we literally just discovered that she already knows everything all the time.
It's true. So she's probably not free.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the city is watching.
Yeah, the Sunlit are watching. Creepy.
Exactly, which you still theorize at this point, like, what is the AI? Who are the Sunlit, you know?
Yeah, because okay, so for people who haven't read the book, the Sunlit are basically the city police, but they're controlled by the AI that controls the city, so they're like a hive mind.
Yeah, but they're also just people. It's kind of weird. They're like not Borg, but they're kind of Borg.
Yeah.
I guess.
I like how your model winked as you said.
I guess in a way they're like the clones. Star Wars.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Oh yeah, kind of. But they also speak in like unison, or like they finish each other's
Sandwiches, yes.
Yeah, sentences. Yeah, there we go.
I was drinking water. I was like, no.
Yeah, so you just kind of wonder, so with the memory you previously figured out, like from Mahit / Iskander, it's kind of like in the back. It's not like a major theme, but you're wondering like, is the AI actually a thing? Are they all one unit? Are they all like, what's the deal? What's really making up this city? And this perfect city, this jewel of the world, is starting to have like cracks in the fault. And you're just like, what the hell is going on? So that all happens, and you just met the Emperor and everybody.
Yeah.
So, that was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of cracks. It's got like the merchant class. 30 Larkspur who wants to take over. You have the military grassroots with One Lightning who wants to take over.
Yes.
You got 8 Loop who's just like, I don't necessarily want to take over, but definitely the Emperor is no good.
Yeah. For sure.
And you got 19 Ads who is like, I like the Emperor, but I don't want him to live forever.
I don't want him to live forever. Which is like honestly fair because
Yeah.
Yes, because of the preconception that everyone has about the Imago machine.
Yes.
That is just like, he's old. If he were to take the machine that they only understand now is just like a living forever machine. That, you know, at some point it's like, what was the name of that ship? That like, if you keep replacing it over time, like, is it still the same ship?
The ship of Theseus.
Oh yes.
Yes, pieces of ship. Like she's just like, I'm not sure. You know, as long as I've known him, I'm not sure at one point he will no longer be, you know, that emperor. And at one point, you know, do you allow somebody like that to be in power?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
which is a super cool concept. But even then, that's not how the machine works.
It's still not how the machine works.
It's still not how it works. The way the Imago machines work, for anyone who hasn't read the book, is it's more like it implants their memories into you, and you fuse together to be one person. So it doesn't replace your personality.
Yeah, and there's extensive testing to make sure that the brains don't, like, the minds don't eat each other, or they would, like, one is too strong for the other one. So just, one of Mahit's big concerns is, like, if you just put an Imago chip with all the Emperor's memories, it's just going to eat a child's mind alive. Especially if it's a clone, like, we have no idea what that would mean. Yeah.
In the conversation between her and the king, they do mention the understanding of like psychiatrists between both the worlds, because he's like trying to bait her into like spilling more state secrets about the machines and like what they're doing. And he's like, well, I don't know how that guy even got on the topic of it. I think it was just like, oh, you know, simplified. Are you okay? Like, you know, must have been very rough on you. And she's like, no, it's fine. You know, we're tested, you know, with psychiatrists. He's like, oh, I wonder about that. I wonder why you would need to. And it's just like a big game of chess. And she's like, shit, I know I'm being baited, but like, I can't do much. She's like, he's the emperor. He's like the guy, you know?
Yeah.
So, a lot more political games here.
It is. And there's like a 2-page interlude that's more just political gains too. Which just shows how the leader of Heritage on the Cell Station sabotaged the Imago machine.
Wait, was it Heritage?
Yeah,
yes.
it was.
Or did I miss it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Emnard
I got
Bat.
so angry when I read that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like on purpose, was it? Or she kind of did it on purpose, but she like squeezed it on accident.
Yeah, she kind of.
Then she was happy that she did it after.
Kind of tweaked a little bit, and just like how you can pretend to put pressure on something, but like try to move it without exerting an amount of force. She pretty much put her thumbs along like the circuits.
Yeah,
like,
and she had filed her nails to points, so she was clearly intending on doing it too.
Yeah, so she like basically took her nails and just scraped all over the microchips.
Yeah, which is awful. Don't do that.
Yeah, especially since that's going in someone's brain.
Yes.
Exactly, and then she felt this like reverent amount of power, and she's like,
Right.
what else could I change? You know, this but like further down the line, it's nothing substantial in this story, but further down the line, she enjoys the power, and then immediately it's just like, fuck.
Right.
Like, should I wait here for my punishment? I need to atone. Like, this really quaint space that she was in charge of, the Imago room, that holds the generations and generations of people's memories.
Yes.
That is needed for their society, is now becoming like a prison to her, because she can't handle the guilt.
Yeah, she's like the first one in like a whole line to like actually hurt one, I think. So that's a lot to handle.
Yeah, it's like sort of like a fucked up lobotomy if you think about it.
It kind of
You're
is.
literally taking someone's brain, and even though it's like an external microchip, it's like
Yeah.
you fucked it up.
Mhm. For real. Oh man. Spooky.
Yeah, I think it was such an impactful thing that they said that like one of her generations of like it was a neurological impulse, not impulse that she did it, but the impulse that like she immediately felt guilty about it.
Mm-hmm.
But she was conflicted. Like part of her memory or part of her natural reaction was just like elated about it, but part of the predecessors were just like, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
Why did
because she
you
has stuff in.
decide to do that? Like, we're supposed to be like high and honorable and take care of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And you just fucked it up.
Just fucked it all up, yeah. Yeah, but she's like, do bad, feel powerful moment, yeah.
Yeah. She had that moment of, like when you say the first curse word for the first time and you're like, oh my god.
You're so right.
I have the power.
I have the
I have the power. And then
power.
afterwards, you're like, ooh, I can't believe I did that.
Oh gosh. It's so
Yeah.
real.
Super cash, but you're right. It was like a 2-page interlude, just
Yeah, just
real quick.
telling you what she did. And then we go back to Mahit.
I don't know. The plot twists were kind of in this book, like, I won't say they were like not surprising.
Right.
I don't know. The plot twist was like the person we thought that fucked with the Imago in Mahit's head.
Mhm.
What was turned out to be the person?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Okay. But the thing is, I think that's a good thing, because I think some people think that plot twists are supposed to, like, you're not supposed to see them coming, but if I think if the author is putting things in the right place, you are supposed to see it coming.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, that's true. No,
But at the same time, I will say, Nardvet, this is, like, set up for book 2, like that little interlude.
Mm-hmm. I had a feeling, which is why I was just like, yeah, I'm sure if they want to say more, they'll say more. If they don't, well,
yeah. I actually am surprised she even put it in the book, because it like doesn't really matter who did it at this point. It just matters that it happened. Because she's so far away from her station.
Yeah, and we haven't spent a lot of time with them.
No. And a huge part of this chunk of the book is just Mahit, like, feeling very alone and missing someone that she could relate to. Being jealous of 12 Azalea and 3 Seagrass being friends. And not having that sense of friendship.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, I feel bad going through it
It's
again.
like how me and Realm are tall PNGs right now.
Yeah.
And Yari short model.
Are we LaSalle Station natives?
Yeah, we're from LaSalle Station.
Yeah.
Texas poet right now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes, I will orate.
The king said to lower himself, because it can't look that far up. We'll lower ourselves. It's okay.
Oh gosh, that's funny. What happens next? Let's see.
So, chapter 11.
Chapter 11. Mahit thinks, let's see what I wrote. Mahit thinks the night is spooky in the Empire because everyone is asleep and on LaSalle. Someone is always awake in night shifts. Yeah, that's true. And the city AI is more visible at night, and that creeps her out, which is valid, I think.
Yeah, that's some like Iris Sauron shit.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Look at the Giant Lacale 9000.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes, you're right. That's funny. Her and 3 Seagrass are heading back to Mahit's apartment. Go meet with 12 Azalea, who has the Imago chip. And when they enter the apartment, they see that someone's already in there. And it's actually somebody we have already met. As a reminder, it is Mahit I think very quickly she recognizes that it's someone that she met at the ball. The poetry ball.
Yeah.
Poetry contest ball. 11 Conifer, who is a One Lightning sympathizer, who is the military guy trying to get into power.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He tries to attack Mahit, but she's just like, nope, and like she turns the injection weapon on him and kills him instead.
A bit of a struggle.
Yeah, a bit of a struggle.
But
yeah, that was like I think the most direct action they've done the whole book.
I think it is in the whole book, yeah.
to that point, yes, there is a bit later on, but
Right.
We'll get to that point.
Yeah, up to that point. The Mahit and 3 Seagrass are totally fine, but they're not feeling too good, and they're very, very tired. One thing Mahit says that I still think is funny is she's like, I want to go to sleep, but sleep is for people that don't have dead bodies in their living room.
Mood,
she does not.
Okay.
Mood! Have you had a dead body in your living room before?
No.
I mean, I get scared if there's a dead bug in my bedroom, so I totally understand that if there's a dead man,
Okay.
Come to my room half the time, and I'm just like, alright, it's between me and you don't pay rent, so get over here.
It's true. That's true.
Go
ahead.
No, I was saying what was fascinating is on top of the fact so far in terms of injuries, Mahit has had a fried imago machine.
Mm-hmm.
She has hurt her hip in an explosion
Mm-hmm.
that killed 15 engine.
Yeah.
She has also have had like not any sleep in about 40 hours. And she also was almost killed with poison with the flower that was in 19 Ad's apartment. And now this thing that almost killed her, that she, said no you and like
no
stabbed 11 Conifer, it was like poison in the needle. Like instantly he boiled up, like blew up
And purple
just
and like died. Yeah.
died
Yeah.
just
Oh my
instantaneously.
goodness.
Spooky.
And all that happened.
Yeah, it all
Kinda
just
like
happened.
So
Yeah.
Oh my
doing
goodness.
okay.
Chaos says my favorite part about that is he was previously trying to recruit her at the ball because she looked strong, and then while he was fighting her, he was like, "Wait, you weren't supposed to fight back."
It's like, dude.
I did.
Dude. He's bigger than you. Shush.
Say psych right now. Say psych right now.
Like, come on. You're gonna try to like stab her with a syringe, and she's taller than you, meaning she has longer arm reach than you. What are you doing, my dude?
What are you thinking, dude? It's true. That's actually exactly what 12 Azalea basically says as he walks into the apartment. Like, why is there a dead body in the ground?
No, yeah, he's like, why is there a dead body on your rug?
Why is there a dead
Or
body?
on your carpet? And then Three Seagrass is like, it's not my carpet.
It's not my carpet. And also, she's like, you look like shit. Because he's been hiding from whoever saw him take out the Imago machine. He's like hiding in bushes and fountains.
Like,
And
yeah, in a fountain.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he had a whole adventure we didn't see.
Yeah.
He just comes back
I
looking like
know.
shit.
I wish there was a whole interlude on his adventure.
I
would love to have
know.
read it.
Yeah.
Oh.
For people who have not read the book so far, 12 Azalea
Mhm.
is the good friend of 3 Seagrass, but he's also part of the information ministry.
Mhm.
So, although he had gotten the machine that was previously in the dead body of the predecessor of Mahit, apparently he was, like whatever. He's in the information department. He got
He's,
the
like,
machine
super into science stuff.
as a
yeah.
favor. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. I was gonna say like, they say later in the story, but apparently he scored too high in the information department
Mhm.
to be put in the medical department. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it would have been medical. So he went on this whole adventure. He's supposed to be this like nice suit, what's it called? Clean and like pressed cuffs and like super nice outfit, and here he is looking like he just ran out of like a bush,
He's
saying
a
like,
preppy pretty
"Aha,
boy.
I got your contraband right
Mhm.
here. What's the dead body doing here?"
Yeah, I did not think that he would be like this. I thought he was going to be annoying, like, pretentious asshole. But no, he's been real cool.
No. Yeah, he's helpful. And he's like... Oh, yeah, he does mention that the information ministry, or is it the science? It's probably both. The people following him were called the Mist, and they're just like spooky spy people wearing gray suits that they look like ghosts, he says.
Yeah, they're like the information.
Yeah, they were the
ministries, like,
information.
people.
Okay.
Spooky.
Yeah. I think the last thing of note in chapter 11 is that Mahit's like, why did you say yes to the Emperor Iskander? And he actually responds. He says, I have no idea, but it's probably because I ran out of options. And then he's gone again.
Yep. So at that point, like, because of all the acclimated injuries and like mental stress and stuff, like her neurological receptors responded in a way where she pretty much like fried the circuit back online for a hot second, and then it just happened to come, Iskander for like a quick second, then it just died down. Like adrenaline pumped through her, and all of a sudden it's just like, yep, there he is.
Which apparently
gone,
means
so.
that he's just been, like, trying to talk to her this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not been going through.
Mm-hmm.
Another
Yes.
aspect I would have liked to have read in an interlude.
Iskander just screaming into the void.
Just, hey!
Hey, is
Yeah.
it 19 X hot? Oh yeah, I totally banged the Emperor too. Nah. Oh yeah, let's get that. Wait, was that in this chapter when they met the Emperor?
Oh.
which they met the chapter
Where we find out that Iskander also had a thing for the Emperor.
no.
Later on, I think it was like when Iskander is
Oh yeah,
present, like,
I think it's when
actively
they're
present.
doing the fusion dance. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
the guitar earrings.
I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry, with my gaze.
But
No
yes.
problem.
Tanatan would bang
Yes.
19 ads.
Yes.
Yes.
Group consensus.
Yes, 19 hands is mommy.
Who wouldn't? She's so high. Like
So hot, powerful.
she's so
Oh,
powerful.
man.
Literally, I forgot.
so true.
I forgot. Always forget for like a quick second when I talk about ads and how crisp, sharp, like stoic she is. That she's supposed to be like half the height of Mahit, and yet she sounds like such a intimidating and like overpowering character. She is a half-size mommy.
Yes.
Definitely imagine like White Diamond
Yeah, yeah.
and whatchamacallit? Who's that warrior girl from Wakanda from the Black Panther?
Oh my
Cute,
god.
Those two.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember any of the characters' names.
I'll look it up. I'm just posting images in the
Oh, nice.
voice channel chats.
Cool. Okay. Then they don't go to bed. They stay awake. They
Plot
call
twist.
in chapter 12, they call the Sunlit over to be like, "Hey, there's a dead body. I only killed him out of self-defense." And I thought that for sure, like, and Mahi too thinks she's gonna go to jail, but the Sunlit are like, "No, you definitely did this in self-defense. You're free to go." They kind of scold Mahit for not going, like, leaving and going to the military base, basically, and being under One Lightning's watch. Like, you would have been safe if you had just done that. And she's like, "No, thanks." And
they're more Ruzel. It's like, what do you mean you couldn't protect yourself? We offered you a chance to be under our protection.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
the stoic One Lightning, but you refused, and they're like, "Are you saying the AI is supposed to protect everyone, has a bias for One Lightning?" And they're like, "No, this is meant for the city. We'd offer it to anyone." You're like, "Yeah, right."
Right, yeah.
That's the sus. We should report it, except who are we going to report it to if the ship is the one that's sus?
Mhm.
But in this case, the city.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. And then they go and eat ice cream out on a lawn. Because,
Yeah, they eat like matcha ice cream.
yeah, what
Yeah.
better thing to do at like 6 a.m.?
And take a fat nap on some grass. They touched grass, everyone.
They did. They went and
Yeah,
touched
they
grass.
Touched grass and had ice cream. That's how you know they're friends. I
Yeah.
learned that from Kingdom Hearts.
Actually, that's so
You know
true.
they're friends when they eat ice cream together.
I love Kingdom Hearts comes up every book stream.
God damn it, Kingdom Hearts.
You walk over.
Never live it down.
She's right though. Toto's right. Yeah, and Azalea keeps watch because he has slightly more sleep in his body than the other two.
Yeah. Good guy. Good
Mahi.
guy,
What was I gonna say?
good
Oh,
guy,
yeah, good guy
Oh,
Azalea.
is it that? Yeah. Wait,
Mhm.
it's 12 Azalea, right?
Yeah, 12 Azalea.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, no, it's 19 ads and 12 Azalea.
Yes.
Hi.
Read
know, it's-
and pedal.
Yeah, read and pedal. It's cute. Mahi, as she's going to sleep, is like, "Oh, Sir Seagrass doesn't want me to die for professional and personal reasons." And then she falls
Oh, what does
asleep.
that mean? And she's like, what do you mean by that? She's like, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Night.
Good night.
Literally. Like I told you before, every time they flirted, I took a screenshot.
Yeah, that's amazing.
As soon as you said the first time, on our first stream, I was just like, now I'm gonna think about it every time. I'm just like, click.
Yeah, no.
Got it.
That's funny.
Lead to each other.
It's a lot, though.
She likes barbarians.
Yeah, she's into aliens.
Yeah.
Even though they're technically both human still.
Yeah, they're both.
It's from a different culture.
Yeah.
Yep.
The rest of this chapter is Mahi deciding she needs to go talk to 8-Loop because 8-Loop is the person who requested another ambassador of LaSalle so quickly. But 8-Loop is not, like, 8-Loop, they can go see 8-Loop no problem. There's, like, no, like, they don't even have to check in. They just, like, straight up go and knock on her door and she lets them in. But 8-Loop doesn't really have anything interesting to say or, like, revealing to say to Mahi. She's very shut off and just says, like, I don't need anything from you. Or maybe I did, but you took like 2 months to get here, and now the political scene has completely changed, and so...
The most frustrating thing is, like, I did need you, but not anymore, and I'm not going to tell you why.
I'm not going to tell you why.
Yep.
She's like, bye! And Mahi's like, well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah, it's like a teacher who's like, I can't believe you didn't turn in that assignment. You're like, what assignment?
Yeah, there was an assignment?
And she's like, well, it's too late now. I'm not going to tell you. Or like...
And they're like, it wasn't on my syllabus.
Yeah, or your SO being like, I can't believe you forgot what today was. And you're like, what was today?
You're so
It's
confused.
when we had our first, third, fifth thing of ice cream together. Don't you remember? God.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, literally, just like,
No?
I'm gonna go now.
And there's like,
It's the second anniversary of the third time we had ice cream together. I can't believe you
I
forgot.
can't believe it. And there's like no way for Mahi to have any idea what 8-Loop is talking about.
Yeah.
So she's just so confused.
Like, well, that's just a waste of time.
Yeah, it was a waste of time. And oh gosh. Both 3 Seagrass and Mahi are running on fumes and they're running out of steam quickly. Azalea agrees to just be like, you can go sleep at my house. So they have to like get Azalea, they have to like sneak him onto the train station because he's still being tracked by the information mist people. But they do it, and they take the train. They are still avoiding like the military and the spies and everybody.
Wait. 1 second. I think
If I missed something, go
there
ahead.
were a couple of things that happened. Yeah. After they talked to 8-Loop,
Mm-hmm.
they made, well, as for people who have not read the book up to this part, you know, at first you see the story unfold as like this perfect, you know, perfect utopia of a world. But
Yeah.
as more and more things happen, aka like the posters, the propaganda, the separatists, like what Trips and Hex mentioned about the different people who want to become the Emperor.
Yeah.
Like who have been appointed as the potential emperors, who's the clone of the Emperor, who wants to usurp like the current powers or do whatever they want to do. There's more political unrest that's happening.
Mhm.
So 8-Loop, although they don't say I need what, you know, they don't really say anything credible during the conversation. 8-Loop does make a statement that the whole annexation of like the outer regions where LaSalle Station is like not like there's no reason to do it. Like there's no reason to like way late like
I don't think it's that there's no reason to. It's that they're supposed to make sure that all their borders are safe before they go out and conquer new territories. Otherwise,
Oh,
they, you know,
you're
put themselves
right.
at risk.
I
Yes.
did totally forget about that part.
And then basically she's suggesting that there is some sort of danger that makes it unsafe to like go out and conquer new territories right now.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's like good to have in the background that there are different opinions.
Yeah.
But the second thing was that after this entire time that they go hang out, Mahit has had this little info stash in her, like Lily taped it to her person so it wouldn't get taken, and she tries to decode it or decrypt it. She actually like another state secret just casually out there, but she teaches 3 Seagrass and 12 Azalea how she decrypts her messages from LaSalle Station, and to the point where, you know, she has most of the information, but she needs Yaskander to finish it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have them. So, with Yaskander in need and his old Imago machine in their hands, they decide to have experimental neurosurgery and get the amalgam machine put into.
All right. Okay. So to explain for chat, just in case they don't know all this, because she has one amalgam machine inside of her already, and that's the one with the Iskander, young Iskander, who has like 15 years less experience. So he doesn't know what happened in the past 15 years, but that one's not working. However, they now have the amalgam machine from like Iskander's actual body, who died. The older Iskander. So they have that one outside of the brain and they want to implant it in.
Yes.
Also, I think it's like the code she uses is using like a dictionary. Is the
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very basic dictionary.
Right. But the problem is the code that was sent to her from Darcharat's, right?
Yeah.
The code that was sent to her is in like math something, and she doesn't know how to decode that one.
Yeah.
It was a specific decipher or phrase that Taratz gave Iskander 20 years ago and said, all right, once you memorize this, burn it, because this might happen. So just in case, take it, and then obviously never pass it down. So they literally need his memory to get it.
Yes.
I have no idea.
And they need to figure out who can perform surgery on Mahit, because she's like, they go to sleep and then she decides, I need to know how to solve the cipher. One thing that did happen, I think, in between all that is that they watch on TV that war has officially broken out in the capital. Or like at least fighting has broken out in the capital. Protests and violence.
It's like very uncivilized for such a civilized world.
Yes. So much so that Seagrass starts to cry, realizing that they're going into a civil war, which is like fair enough. I would probably cry too. And so actually Mahit being like, look at my cipher magic was a good distraction for Seagrass. So yeah, they have to go all the way back into the capital to try to find somebody to perform surgery on Mahit. So in that time, Mahit decides to go talk to Ten Pearl. This is chapter 14.
Yeah, Ten Pearl's like head of science.
Yes.
But he's also a huge dick.
He's a huge dick. It's very, very true.
Got problems.
He has problems. Something I did right that I think is goofy is that Mahit, she really thinks about it for like way too long and what to do. Like, should she put a different amalgam machine in her body? What will that do? But she also is she's thinking like, her Iskander's predecessor will also be in her mind, and she's like, I don't really like that person. They're boring. It doesn't matter. I need a Iskander. Like, it's a very fleeting thought. And yeah, so Azalea is like, okay, I'll go find one for you because I have connections and I'm cool. So
as previously established.
As 12 Azalea does. As Mahit goes to talk to Ten Pearl. They have a conversation. It's not a great one though. Essentially, Ten Pearl reveals Mahit's extremely straightforward, asking him very direct questions like, why did you let my predecessor die? What did he die from? Things like that. He just says, like, I didn't kill him, I just watched him die, and I didn't do anything about it. So cool, you killed Iskander, huh?
Yeah, he's like really nonchalant about it. He's like, oh, yeah, I killed him. Or like, I just stood by and watched, I did not save him. It's basically like the opposite of, what's that doctor code that says you have to save people?
No, I don't know.
Hippocratic Oath?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that is
it's like very anti-Hippocratic Oath, and he's just like, so I just watch him die, and
well,
it's no big deal because no one cares.
No one cares. You can't do anything about it.
You've been worrying the whole book about. Turns out we don't care.
Yes, for the entire time they omitted why, and they just said that he died from asphyxiation from an allergy, but he lived on the world for 20 years and did not die once. Alright, and to prove the point that literally no one cares, Temporal is like, yeah,
Who else knows?
If you want to ask 19 ads, she was right there and let him die. But they did it for the betterment or whatever, because of like how threatening the Imago machine was to them as they perceived it. So they're just like, damn. Literally, the person
19 ads we thought was cool, and 19 ads also saved Mahit's life.
I know.
Yes.
It's too bad.
Like, and why did you kill Lizzie Skander?
Yeah, then why did you kill him?
Conflicting character, because you let Iskander die, you'll learn later.
Yeah.
Well, you pretty much know, but you learn later. But at the same time, 19 ads probably, and find out later, did watch Mahit pick up that flower that was poisonous that could kill her if she breathed it in.
Yeah.
And yet, 19 ads saved her.
Yep.
Yeah.
It did.
So you're like,
Hmm.
friend or
The
foe?
whole thing is like a mystery where it's like everyone knows except for the detective.
It's true.
And then when the detective figures it out, they're like, yeah, we already knew, you dummy.
Yeah, you
Also, we
already
don't
knew.
care.
No one cares.
No one cares.
Who cares? You got it.
Thanks
You're
for
so
catching
slow.
up.
I do think that that's just, it's really to emphasize how even if an outsider figures everything out, it doesn't matter because she has no power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. There's like, yep, this is what we're doing. If you know anything else, goodbye.
Bye. Yeah, we killed him. Bye.
Yeah. What you gonna do about a bitch?
Nothing. Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Temporal's a big asshole. And he also made the city AI.
Yes.
He's pretty sus too.
He did.
He did. Yeah. Yeah. So he's pretty.
Exactly, which you're figuring out the same AI that we're questioning whether it's an actual perfect city, because, you know, it seems like it has biases.
Just one lightning
Earlier
bolt.
in the story, it hurts 3 seagrass. She's supposed to have this political approval to bypass the security in case of events of like domestic terrorism or other violent needs, and she got shocked and she went into a seizure. She was not supposed to. That was not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a perfect AI.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude who made it,
It's also killed people, I think they said, right?
yes,
It's not the
they
first thing
did.
to happen.
It, I think they said that I think it was like the entirety of what they mentioned was about like 15 people. It happened to like 7 people in the last like 6 months, and it
Yeah.
killed 2 people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's becoming
shocking
more common.
statistics.
Shocking statistics. Oh boy. Get out.
Real quick, since we're talking about the city and stuff, can we also talk about like One Lightning?
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
like, okay, let me get this straight. So One Lightning basically is this military dude who wants to get glory in the military. He's like, vote for me for the next, or not vote for me because I don't vote, but like support me to become the new emperor.
Yeah.
We're gonna have an uprising and become the new emperor, even though I haven't done anything yet.
No, he just
Literally.
wants to incite, like, it's kind of like how, like, in America there are certain politicians that are like, oh, we should go to war, because we just should, that's what we've always done, we're good at it, type of thing.
Watch me, I'm gonna do a war right now.
Yes, watch me, I'm gonna do a war.
That reminds me of a kid who asks, "Hey, wants me to do a cartwheel?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Wants me to go to war? I'll do it right now."
yeah, I'll do it right now. I'll do
I
it right
mean,
now. Vote for
like,
me. You can vote for me for class president. I can do a cartwheel.
It's silly, though.
So you do it?
He is just like, let's go to war because we just should.
Yeah.
It's like nothing else.
exactly.
And
Like,
people are
they'll-
very pro war because they're like colonizers, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But, the king's
But
like,
no, he wants to go to
"No,
war. No, he does have a reason to make himself look good.
Yes, to make himself
Even
look
though he
good.
has no military victories yet. He's just like, support me, watch me go do this war real good. I'll genocide them real good for you guys. Or colonize them real good for you guys.
I'll do it real good, Pop."
It's so real. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead. You're good.
No, I'm saying like no one person in this whole setup of who wants to be emperor is like fantastic. None of them are gleaming with accolades. I mean, yeah,
One of them's
no,
a
not
literal
really.
child.
One's a literal child. One's a greedy noble merchant. who has aristocratic power.
Yeah, and also has like subtle like sus motives too.
He's mega sus.
He's like car salesman
all the time.
Vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, we got okay, so we have a literal child, a sussy car salesman.
Yes, we have a uber patriotic warmongerer with no war experience.
Yeah. Basically think like a Republican, except instead of being a wealthy bureaucrat, they're just like also just like one of the easy like, gun-toting Americans.
Yeah. Just think of like a band of really like loud bunch of red Ford F-150s.
Yeah,
and, like, hats. Like a
bunch
of these guys going to town.
Oh God, okay.
Yes.
No, sorry to bring in real world politics, but that's like
sorry.
what I'm thinking of here.
Who else? Child, green,
an
green
8
car
loop,
salesman,
just an old lady that doesn't really want the job.
Yes, and
yes,
Miss,
she doesn't want the job, but she is also like, yeah, but the current dude, he sucks though.
He sucks though. It's so true.
Yeah, just like an old curmudgeonly like hater.
She is the passive aggressive manager.
Yeah, you're right.
She is the Karen. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, not the Karen.
They had all these people suck. No wonder the Emperor's like, yeah, I should just stay Emperor because all the other people suck.
Like, well, the child is fine, but it's still like 10 years old, so.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why he wants to be like, I'll just put my brain in him, so it'll all be good.
Yes.
The Emperor is like Clint Eastwood in any film. He's just like, oh, get off of my lawn, and doesn't want to be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
Live a long life. So what a great cast of people.
Yeah, just great.
That's wonderful.
It's funny. Putting it like that, it really puts it into perspective.
At least we have 19 ads who's a mommy.
Yes.
Oh yes. What is her? Well, I guess you could just straight up say mommy, but like, I want funny. I want.
Yeah.
What else? What else could she be?
Powerful, Biden to the Emperor, Dami Mommy.
Yeah, Dami Mommy. I don't know. And she's always watching you. She's looking after you, saving you from poison. Even though we find out later that,
Yeah.
Okay, so she's just top mommy.
Top mommy.
Top mommy.
There we go. Congrats.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, or she's basically just apparently whatever every Twitter person wants.
That's true. So true.
Yes. Every person who plays bottom bingo, that's who they want. That's how they get bingo.
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
So, all these people. Why was I going into the characters? I don't even know why.
It's all right.
We're fun. We're fun. We were just like explaining.
It was good.
Dynamics here.
It's good.
Yeah.
And at the middle of that, we have Mahit, who is just the awkward new girl.
Poor Mahit. She just wants to understand what's going on.
Yeah, and 3 Seagrass, her quick new BFF, who is totally in love with her.
Yes, and 12 Azalea, who those two are
who is
trying
like
to find.
the preppy looking guy who actually turns out to be super cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Total
12
bro.
Azalea is the bro who's friends with everyone.
Yeah.
Seagrass is like the jock, and
she's a jock.
Mahit's like
is she the jock? No. 3 Seagrass is like the like student council president kind of type, not the jock. She's like she wants to. It's like she's super ambitious. She like is kind of know-it-all-y. Yeah,
I think she's the class president who's not afraid to break the rules.
Yeah. She's the cool class president.
But she has a secret, like they always say, like when they're not being the super perfect class president, they always have their, they're called their comforts, like their secret desires.
Yeah.
Not secret desires, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
she has a fetish for aliens.
Yeah, she just likes aliens.
Loves to read about aliens in poetry.
Yeah. Instead of fan fiction, it's aliens.
Aliens, yep.
Actually, no. If you think about it, then isn't Mahit the type who would read a lot of fan fiction because she's like a huge
definitely
nerd and she reads all their poetry and she's like, oh.
Maybe
Yeah.
she's like,
Actually, she totally is.
yeah, she's that person, but who also writes stories because that was like her escape.
Hmm
And then they come, and then the two people have like that connection, and they figure it out, and then now they're like uncommon best friends.
Yeah, and she kind of had her own, like, I don't want to say fursona because she's not a furry, but she had her own Texcalon zona too.
It's true.
But like, it's like the thing where, or like, you become a huge weeb and you're like learn all about the culture and you're like so into anime and manga, and then you actually go to Japan and it's nothing like what you thought.
Yeah.
Is what she's like, because now she's here and it's like, oh yeah, people are trying to murder you. No one likes you. You get bombed and like
Yes,
poisoned.
exactly, because in your old home, no one would accept you for your interest, and now that you're actually at the place that you're interested in, they won't accept you because you're not them enough.
Exactly.
You can't
And
go
you'll
back
never be them.
because yeah, you're kind of just stuck.
Right. You're stuck here and you have a job to do, and they're all being super mean to you.
And you know, Iskander reminds me of the dad, like the parents in the anime, where they go on vacation for like years at a time. We're like, we'll be back, son, and then they just they pop up when the story needs it, but like they're not really there, and it's kind of an issue.
Yeah, it is.
No,
an
it's like
issue.
in the anime, like the uncle character who is like the new girl who just like moved in from out of country is staying with, and he shows up for like one episode of the whole season.
Yep. Pretty
And
much.
he shows up at the end again, and you're like, oh yeah, you were here.
Oh yeah, you were here. Yeah.
Like literally, where were you when I needed you? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
come on.
Oh my gosh, that's a good.
And the dad
You
is
just live a slice
Iskander.
of life.
It's true.
Slice of life, a memory called Empire.
We're about to get back to that episode though, because in chapter 15 they travel like a million, not that long, but they travel a long ways away to get to the surgeon that Tolvazalia found, who's not like a registered licensed surgeon, but she's up to the job. They go to like this dusty house. There's like a certain color, like is it green couches all over? I can't remember.
It's it was like turquoise.
Turquoise, that's
So,
what
like,
it is, yeah.
It was super gray, super like it's industrial but dingy.
Yeah,
But
with like several turquoise couches.
yeah, you're just like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of colors, the train sequence before was the most, you know, political thriller-esque little scene they had, like a little spy scene. And then you had them meet up at the train station to go, and then Tolvazalia is getting like tailed by the mist. And here he is wearing like and bright fuchsia and like these crazy colors. He's like, I'm not trying to be a spy, I'm just trying to like not get caught. And we're like, you're literally wearing like
You're wearing like a
sign that
highlighter.
says,
Yeah,
"Me."
you are literally a highlighter, sir.
Yes, but it was a fun time nonetheless, and he literally hid behind Mahit, like double his size, and then they book it to the train, trips, but they book it to the train, and then he makes it, and then they get to that place with the turquoise.
The turquoise
Like,
couches.
It's
Turquoise
like, you
couch.
guys know when they redact like confidential materials, it's like instead of using a black marker, they used a highlighter.
It's true.
That's basically it right now.
Yeah.
Highlighter,
so
and he's
true.
just like highlighting all the redacted
Poor
information.
Automatically
Azalea.
found.
Love
How
Azalea.
dare.
It's like, why can't they see all my secrets?
Oh
Maybe it's because I'm highlighting them in pink.
Yep. Oh my god, it was funny. But yeah, the mist have to get good. They didn't catch him.
no. No.
This person is, I guess they mentioned it as like an unofficial.
I guess you could say they
Medical
missed
person.
him.
Bye.
Oh, I'm sorry. So bad I had to.
Good.
I'm sorry. You were saying so.
Yeah.
No, they were just, you know, like, they mentioned it, that not everyone who goes to these schools and these programs are, like, pro-Tex Kalan. So, she got her training in the same academy as, like, 3 Seagrass and 12 Azalea, but for some reason or another, they never got certified, and so they're, like, an unofficial licensed doctor who has the knowledge, but, like, You know, doesn't
Yeah.
wear the cloud hook, so she's not registered. Doesn't want to be on the grid, like you know, super back alley stuff.
She replaced one of her own eyeballs with a telescoping lens.
Yeah, and after I heard that, I could not stop thinking about like the one Bionicle that has.
Oh my god, yeah!
a telescope on it. I'm like,
I know,
oh my.
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Like, she's like that.
Yeah, she is like that. It's funny.
Post the chat.
I don't know if we said her name's Five Portico.
Yeah.
So she's Five Porch in my head.
I like Five Porch.
Five Porch.
And she's like the like no nonsense
Yeah.
type. She's like, yeah, she's like, I guess in my mind she sounded poor. She's like, yeah, you want me to like put this brain in your chip? All right.
How much do
What
you want to
got paid
live?
with? Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Are
like,
you gonna
when,
give me that chip? Cool. You don't want me to tell people? Cool.
like, at what
I'll do
point
it.
should I abort the surgery? And things like that.
Yeah, just like real bored, like real rote.
Yeah.
Like just this is what I do. I do illegal surgeries.
Yes. And
What's in it for me?
Mahi isn't sure at first what to give as payment, but she offers the old Imago chip as payment. And Five
She's
Portico's
never
like,
not gonna come back and bite her in the ass.
right? I know.
She's gonna give this like these people who might be anti-government access to this technology.
Yeah. Oh well. and yeah, Three Seagrass is like, uh-oh, but you know, there's not really any choice in the matter because she needs Iskander back. So they undergo surgery. And it gets chapter 16's a little weird, but
I loved it. I loved it, the trippiness of it.
oh no, it's really good to read. I recommend reading it. To read the book yourselves and read it. But it's like, I was like, how do I write the notes for this chapter? The first thing I wrote is that as Mahit is like going under, she's like, wait, is Portico's eyeball also a precision laser? It's like, that's so funny to me if it's like a laser
That's
eyeball.
just like even more bionical. It's like, oh my god.
I know.
Yes. Definition of overthinker.
New Jew's
She's really
mask,
thinking
yeah.
as they're probing into her head. Well, spine, but head nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then I just wrote a few sentences, but you guys can, if you want to talk about it, you can. Mahi relives Iskander's dying experience. Is the first thing that she remembers, and it's pretty awful. She's just like, oh wow, we're dying. Then she relives Iskander's memory of receiving the position to become the ambassador of Lacelle from Darj Tarats, I don't know. And they talk about the spooky, not aliens, possibly aliens that are not, you can't communicate with, and they're just killing pilots. It just eats, I think, is what Tarat says at some point. Abruptly. Oh yeah, she has like a memory, like a kind of a shared memory of both her and Iskander reading like a Tex Kalanli book and being like, wow, I love Tex Kalanli.
Jinx.
Yeah? Oh, I thought you said my name.
No, I thought no. It said like they jinxed each other.
Jinx! Yeah.
Yeah, but then it gets real weird because she's got old Iskander and young Iskander both in her brain now.
And they're both like talking to
And
each
they're
other.
also talking to each other. They're like, wait
a second.
I'm dead?
I'm dead?
Wait,
They
you're
had an
me!
intervention. They had an intervention with
It's
each
like
other.
the Spider-Man meme happens.
Yeah. They're like, who are you? And
Who
it's
are
just like,
you?
I'm you and you're me and both of you
Also
are
Miles
you.
Morales.
I am
Yeah.
me. Don't
Also
even-
Spider-Man, but not quite
Yes.
the same person.
yeah, Miles
Right.
Morales is Mahi, yeah.
They're like, listen here, you little bitch. I am me, no matter what. So don't even think about doing what you think you're gonna do in my head.
Yeah,
When I was not in your head.
it's true.
Yeah, and then I remember. Okay, this is later, but then when they get to 19 ads,
Mm-hmm.
and both young and old Iskander are talking their brains, young Iskander's like, "Whoa, I got to hit that."
Yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah.
And old Iskander's like, "Yeah, I had 15 more years of experience than you."
Yeah. It's so real. And they're like high-fiving each other.
Mahit's great, and Mahit's like,
Oh my
damn
god.
it, I wanted to do that.
Yeah. It's true.
It's like, no.
She's like, I can't tell if I'm attracted to her,
Or if it's just
a mommy,
you.
or if it's like these scanners in my brain that are attracted to her. I can't.
Yeah, I can't tell. I imagine that would be difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
I'm sorry.
No, that was actually what I was going to talk about next. I think we already mentioned it, but this is when Iskander says that he is in love with the Emperor, and Ads is like, yes, I love him too, and they talk about how Iskander is like, I don't know what to do. It's not a good situation. Maybe I should just adopt the clone of the Emperor because like I don't want this child to have its mind eaten. They're like lying in bed.
And they're like struggling to figure out like, okay, Iskander loves the Emperor and he kind of wants him to keep living.
Yeah.
But 19 Adswat loves the Emperor and is like, but I don't want him to become a new person. We need to let him go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they cannot agree on this, and it becomes a huge deal because it's the Emperor.
It's true.
They end up killing off Iskander because he was going to
let him have it.
Yeah, let him have it. Let the Emperor live forever.
Yeah.
And it was also as a deal for if we let you live forever, you're going to stay out of LaSalle Station at home for as long as your empire is ruling. And since you're going to rule forever, that means you never get control of LaSalle. So we are eternally going to be.
Yes, our own. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's like, that takes up a good chunk of the chapter. And then the rest of it is just Iskander remembering that he died again and struggling, and Mahit being like, get yourself together! We gotta fix this shit that you got us in!
Yeah, I think that's honestly the best plot twist in the book, though, is like kind of finally seeing like what went down.
Yes, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's also cool because like you can literally see what happened. It's not just Mahit isn't just being told that it happened.
Right, and I feel like this is like the huge turning point in the book of like, oh, we finally understand like where people are at, what is going on, why people are doing the things they're doing.
Yes.
Certainly at this point, people become a lot clearer with their intentions and what they actually wish to say. Like, specifically in the book, they're like, all right, so like, I need you to really, like, she literally says, I need to ask this question directly, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, thank God, because there was so much buildup and layers of poetry just to be like, I don't know what's going on. I should probably figure that out. We're just like, yes, you should, because we need to know. And now it's just being laid out, like, blurted.
I would argue that this is like the climax of the book. Is
honestly,
because the conflict of the book is not really like her fighting against all her political opponents.
No.
It's her figuring out the mystery.
Yeah, her
this is
figuring
when
out what's
everything
going on.
Comes together.
Yeah.
Indeed. They take the rest of the chapter to describe, like, he's trying, like, that you have young Iskander, who is somewhat used to living in Mahit's body, but older Iskander is used to living in his own body for, like, a long time before being abruptly implanted, so, like, Mahit is, like, having issues breathing, and, like, choking up because he went through the process of being, like, poisoned and, you know, died of asphyxiation.
Yeah.
And like all of her nerves are going crazy, and apparently she was out for like, you know, like almost 12 hours, and there was like some innocuous screaming that was happening, and then you know, 3 seagrass and 12 azalea were outside. We're just like, what?
Yeah, did they like? I think it was like they didn't give her anesthesia. They just kind of like did it.
Yeah, they think they numbed her, but they didn't like put her under.
Yeah,
but then she went under anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the hydrate. Hydrate.
Never. JK, I live.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate. I also think like the whole Iskander can't get over the fact that he died thing. I feel like when you get an imago machine, they remove that part of the person dying. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably edit that part out.
Yeah, it's like, can you take it out in post? Can you?
Yeah, can you take that part out? Because it's really traumatic.
Yeah. You know that part where I kept dying over to that boss? Yeah, can you not post that in the video?
Yeah, exactly.
They did mention, or Scanner did mention that like the psychiatrists at Cell Station would have a field day, having somebody occupy one mind occupied by 3 different people.
Yeah.
And then going through that experience just like as it's happening.
Yeah.
It was actually like a crazy feat.
Yeah. And then they get it together.
Literally.
They pull themselves together, all 3 of them.
They did the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all 3 Spider-Men working in tandem.
Just
like that movie.
Peter, yes. 3 yeses in a row.
Yes.
No, not Peter.
I meant,
that Peter.
Yeah, that Peter.
Peter Parker. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. The scientist. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Before she wakes up, there's actually like another 2-page interlude, where they talk about, let's see, more reports of the 3 great wheeled ships that are eating stationer pilots. Onshu is mad at being made bait for the aliens, but Tarat says it's to make the Empire notice them or something. To notice them as something of worth, to not just be absorbed. Because Tarat wants to end the Empire forever. And Onshu is just like annoyed. Onshu is the head of pilots and Tarat is the head of mining. In the Cell Station. That's it.
Yes.
That's what happens.
I find interesting is at the beginning of each chapter, they give you a blurb about LaSalle history and Texcalan history. And now the blurbs are starting to speak of more recent events. Like at the beginning of chapter 15, there is a little blurb of the records.
I think even before there were recent events.
Like yes, but now they make
reports.
Now they make like actual like now they're contriving themselves into filling in bits and pieces that you're just like, I see. Like, chapter 15 says this is the record of queries made by LaSalle, a Mongo database by Dikakal Onshu, and it's the list of accesses and who is accessing for example, Yaskander's imago for like neurosurgery and maintenance and stuff, and it says Arb did that, and I'm just like, damn straight, we already know that, but you know, now it's popping up more, more prevalent.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the book they were trying to like get us to understand the culture and everything, and now that we kind of understand the culture, now we want to know what's going on. And I still like that they do one of each. LaSalle.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, by the end of the book, I was like, I want to know what like LaSalle is like too.
Yeah.
Personally, anyway. But so yeah, we did say this. That Mahit wakes up and she's okay. She has a really bad headache, but she's okay. Iskander is tired, but like he's also like he's not as sassy. He's a bit more. He is still sassy, but he's just kind of soft. Like,
he's more serious.
He's more serious. Maybe because older Iskander is more serious.
Or older Iskander is watching.
Yeah.
Big Brother is watching now.
Yeah, Big Brother's watching now.
He's not the oldest one in the brain anymore.
Yeah. I think it's funny because Mahit's like, wow, my head hurts. Wow, I'm thirsty. Iskander solved the cipher for me. Like, she doesn't do anything else.
They just keep going. Like, that sleep wasn't really a sleep. It was just, like, stasis, and now she has to continue everything.
Yeah. And I wrote, let's see, I can read cipher. So he's just like, oh yeah, I'll do it, and just does it, like, immediately. And the cipher, what the message read was, demand reroute of annexation force. Claims certain provable knowledge of new discovered non-humans plotting invasion at points as given below. Withhold coordinates until confirmation given. And so Mahit memorizes the coordinates and eats the paper. Because the scanner tells her to.
Describe it too. They describe how hard it is to swallow it.
Yeah, she like really needs a glass of water.
Yeah, you know how like when you chew stuff it can like make your head ache?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is hurting my brain from the surgery.
Yeah.
I need to swallow this paper.
Yeah. I guess paper is sort of edible.
Yeah.
You shouldn't eat it, but you can.
Yummy.
Yay, paper.
with math on it.
What a great first, thing to help her with. She's like, oh, this is great. Eat the paper.
Eat the paper.
I swear to God.
The first to standard instruction, eat the paper. Three Seagrass and 12 Azalea are happy to see that, Mahit's alive. They weren't sure. They tell her that she was under for like 11 hours.
And then 3 Seagrass comes over and makes out with her. It's like, I miss you so much.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I wish.
Right?
They play the vertical tango. They just go at it right on the turquoise.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
And 12
yeah.
Azalea's like, oh my god, get a room.
Yeah, god damn it. I knew this was gonna happen, but god damn it.
Yeah.
He just is there.
He's just there.
That's all there is to it. At the set of the scene. But they also get no time. Like they may have taken a rest or just waited on the couch.
Yeah.
They were so stressed, and then all of a sudden they're like, "All right, yeah, we deciphered this thing. Crazy. We gotta go see the Emperor right now."
Yeah. And they need to go.
Because,
Before they go, a bunch of people come in. I guess like defectors or anti-imperialists
Yeah,
come
and
in.
they're like, who the fuck are these guys? Oh my god, he's wearing pink. He's from Information Ministry. He's a...
Yeah, he's a spy. They need to go.
But
Yeah.
then, Five Portico is like the boss, and she's just like, dude, chill.
Too chill.
So that is
It's
not
fine.
the vibe.
Yeah, Five Portico does like a quick check on Mahit. She's like, well, I guess you're okay. Get out of my house.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, we
She is
wanna-
like the biggest, like, just bored, so done with everyone. Kind of
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
It's like, you're done with your surgery, you good, you're alive, alright, get out.
Get
Yeah,
out.
the one thing I thought about, like, if this person can I'm gonna say porch, so Five Porch can do the surgery.
Mhm.
And she just said, yeah, they literally asked how the Mago machine looked. She said, yeah, there was just a few fried circuits. I'm literally thinking, if this girl can perform experimental neurosurgery, she can most definitely fix a few fried circuits. Hell, I can even do it. So, like, I feel like they left that. I mean, they had no other choice, but
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like they left that out purposely just
Yeah.
to be like, well,
that's definitely going to be in the next book, because we never really got any, like, conclusion with the whole, like, rebels.
There's
Yep.
no conclusion with
action
it, yeah.
here.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
the information that they figure out before they get chucked out by Miss Porch over there
Mm-hmm.
was that the specific coordinates and the actual logs that show that there is an alien in the undiscovered depths of space that threatens the entire empire, including LaSalle. And if they don't get taken care of, then the entire system is just going to be, destroyed. So big news.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and the military is staging it too. Yeah. So no normal ways of transportation are available. Like they can't take the subway or the trains. So Three Seagrass
Call
is
an
like,
Uber.
yeah, I'll go call information. They'll come and get us, and they do. They go and pick them up and take them back to the city. That leads us to chapter 18.
Alright, can I...
Yeah, we can take a break.
Can we take a restroom break real
Yeah,
quick?
of course. Yeah, you guys just let me know when you need to go take a break. It's totally fine.
Well, I will take advantage of that right
Yeah, let's
now.
take like a few minute break, get water, use the bathroom, anything like that. I'll go to
Be
break.
right back.
Dude.
BRB. Enjoy the cool beats. Hello! Welcome back. We are here, ready to talk
Howdy.
about more Mahit.
Yes. More Mahit Isekai.
Yes, isekai.
Isekai school like it.
Kinda.
Kinda. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even wrong.
Yeah, you're not even wrong. That's funny. Oh gosh, we picked up. They got in the car to go back to the capital. Yeah.
And like Uber.
Yeah.
Java.
Yeah, the Uber. The driver is just like, you don't really want to go through there. There's like riots happening. It's really bad. And it is really bad, but Mahit and everyone's like, no, we have to go this way. You just have to. We have to get
And
to
there's
the
like
Emperor.
tear gas.
Yeah, there's
People
tear gas.
yelling.
People yelling, yeah.
And then Mahit's like, oh my god, they almost look human.
Mm-hmm.
Because she has like this idea of like, oh, they're so like above people and blah blah blah, but no, now they're just like rioting and yelling.
Yeah.
Just like me.
Just like me. Wow.
Wow.
Breaking
Yeah.
the law, breaking the law.
Yeah. Something I think one of the cool parts of this chapter, I guess, is that they get out of the car because the riots are too bad. And Iskander's like, I know exactly where to go. I can get you to the information area. And he like instructs them all. So it's not like anyone in the city telling them where to go. It's Mahit telling them where to go.
Yeah, to the back alleys that he knows.
It's
Yeah.
not a casual stroll either. Like, literally, there are 2 waves of people, like 30 Lurpskers people, and 1 Lightning's people.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like, at each other. And then the Sunlit throws, like, tear gas.
Yeah.
And they're just
Just
like,
gotta break
oh
up the
shit.
riots.
So the driver just tags along with everyone. And then Iskander's
Mhm.
like, yo, we'll worry about breathing later. I'm just gonna pump you full of adrenaline and we're gonna bust out of here.
We're just gonna go.
And then they made it. They just ran all the way to the information
Yep.
building.
Yep. That's
Where it all
Hey.
started.
They're greeted happily, actually, by Six Helicopter, I think. That's his
Which
name.
is like a terrible name.
It's a
Like,
terrible
aren't they
name.
supposed to be named after like nature things? And then they were like judging all-terrain tundra vehicle for having a bad name.
Yeah,
Guy's fucking named Helicopter.
For our
Helicopter.
future king,
I think-
I will defend Thunder Vehicle.
A lot of these like Goonie-like
Yeah.
characters, we'll find out they're Goonies in a few pages. They have really silly names like Seven Penknife and stuff. Like
What
what?
even is a pen knife? Is that like a letter opener?
I think a letter
I
opener.
I think so.
I don't know. I'm gonna Google it.
It could be. Well, yeah, my
Penknife.
boss has one. So it's like
it's a
looks like
fancy word
quill.
for pocket knife.
Ah, how apropos.
Yeah.
Yes, but they actually mentioned in the book too. They're like, I wonder how he can say his name without laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, wow, what a dumb
Savages.
name.
Literally.
Yeah. It's
I
true.
love him.
Yeah, and then he's like just like small man who got big power
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden and let the power all go to his head.
It's
Like
true.
a dick about it.
Yeah, before he becomes a dick, they're gifted coffee and bread rolls by information. But then they realize, Three Seagrass tries to go, like, get to the Emperor, like, she tries to use her power, and the Six Helicopter and his bros are like, no, we're controlling you, you can't move. Like dickheads. So they realize they're stuck. And they have to think about how to get out of it. The thing is, I forgot that 12 Azalea is wearing, like, his, like, vacationing gear this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Still dressed like a highlighter.
Yeah, like,
Like literally a whole 64 box with the sharpener crayon. Like
Oh,
all
right.
the colors, and they're just like being comfortably detained by 3 people with funny names.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They aren't sure what to do, but they decide, I think both Mahit and Three Seagrass are like, let's write poetry and put it on they like brainstorm. They're gonna write a poetry to try to get saved. They're
So
like,
basically,
oh, go ahead, yeah.
they're like the gay people who got caught by the police and now they're tweeting about it.
Yeah, they're tweeting about it.
Yeah, they're live tweeting.
It's true.
Yeah,
and
they're live tweeting. And it's so dumb because they're like, yeah, these police are like not good at their jobs. They didn't even take our like phones away.
They
or
didn't
our
take their
comments
phones away. It was silly.
So now we can tweet about it and get the attention, hopefully, of 19 ads to save us.
Yes. Yeah, so they write a nice poem to try to get her attention. And I personally really liked this part just because it reminded me of like Mamoru Hosoda films. like in Belle, when Belle's singing a song and it's meant for someone, but if that person hears it, it'll be for them. I like that kind of theme in books and media and stuff.
It's also really cool that the way they defeat the police is through poetry.
It's true. It's poetic.
It was yes, poetic justice.
Yes.
I was trying to find it.
Oh, I have it. The poem is, in the soft hands of a child, even a map of the stars can withstand. Forces that pull and crack, gravity persists. Community persists. Uncalloused fingers walk orbital paths. But I am drowning in a sea of flowers and violet foam in the fog of war. Released, my tongue will speak visions. Released, I am a spear in the hands of the sun.
Yeah, and then the police finally catch on like 5 minutes later. They're just like hanging out. They're just like, what do you think they're gonna notice?
Yeah.
And they finally come in and they're like, give me your phones or give me your cloud hooks.
And they're like, what did you do? You treasonous beings that we didn't take the phones away from.
Literally,
Your
just
fault
like,
we didn't take your phones away.
literally like a kid, like, why did we take your phone away? You're so grounded. Like, get over here. And then they like pseudo arrest them, and then they hear some like noise going on in the background, and they unarrest themselves, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah, they're like, no, we're not arrested now.
Psych.
Yeah.
That's the wrong number.
And they wait for a little bit. But then sorry, I'm like flipping through.
It is five they're in the office, so 5 is there? Is it
5 Agate comes in.
Yeah, 5
there you
Agate
go.
comes
5
in.
Agate is seen beating up somebody with a shock stick. And
coming to save them. Yeah, and she's like 19 ads is secretary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Secretary / student /
Yeah,
like,
/ apprentice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's also a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
Map.
Stupid Mahi, you made us look bad.
So like they're saved, they're going towards, 19 ads as secretary, and all of a sudden the stupid poopy head politician with the stupid name pulls out a projectile weapon.
Wait, not politician.
He's just a bodyguard.
He's just bodyguard.
Really? I thought he was
he was like randomly promoted by One Lightning, I think. He's just a nobody.
Yeah, he's suddenly got a lot of power. So yeah, I guess you're right. He is a politician, but he's he's more like the whatchamacallit, the sleazy cabinet member who got like promoted to the position for no merit of their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other than sucking up.
Yeah.
It's like 6 helicopter, right?
So a standard politician.
Yeah, it's 6 helicopter does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used the weapon, and sad things happen.
Yes, and this is in an ensuing fight scene where Agate goes and like runs towards 6 helicopter, tries to hit him with the stick. He's firing weapons.
Yeah, because apparently they don't have projectile weapons on LaSalle, so it's like she doesn't know what to call it other than projectile weapon, but it's a gun. It's basically
she doesn't know that it's a gun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that guns would be completely
illegal.
illegal.
She does not totally understand what stuff about guns. She's like, how many things can that thing fire? It just keeps shooting.
Yeah, she's like, I don't get it. It's really
I don't
scary.
get it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
this is not fair at all.
Yeah.
Gets shot in the arm in the attempt. They smack 6 helicopter, but then they try to run away. And 6 helicopter tries to go after them, but is stopped by 12 Azalea and Chaos. I'm sorry we have to mention it, but we do. The scene is left with more shooting. 12 Azalea is sitting with 6 helicopter in a pile of blood, and 5 Agate, 3 Seagrass, and Mahit escaped the building towards 19 Ads' apartment.
Yeah.
And that is what we are left off with for that part.
Yeah. And it's very abrupt. It's not poetic. Well, Azalea just doesn't make it, and it's too bad. It's just genuinely too bad.
Yeah. Well, I thought 5 Agate got shot when
She did get shot.
She did get shot. No, I thought she died. I thought she was the one who was gonna die. Because there's no way our main characters, our main trio are gonna get her.
Oh,
but then it just like describes like, oh no, he's in a pool of blood. What the fuck? And it's like it really
I know.
solidifies that mood of confusion. And they're running, and like, is it Mahit or 3 Seagrass? It's like, we gotta go back. We gotta go save him.
Yeah, 3 Seagrass is like, we have to go. He's dying. Like, and a 5 Agate's like, there is not time. We cannot go back.
Yes, 5 Agate went off and just like, we came so far. Oh yes, and I think it was 45 something.
45 graphite.
Yeah, 45 graphite unfortunately also didn't make it.
Yeah.
That was
It's
the
just
other
a random
secretary.
character, but yeah, it is sad.
Wasn't that another one of 19 Ads? It's like apprentices or
Yes, they were.
Yeah. But yeah, they didn't really do anything.
I think like the assistant to the assistant.
Yeah, I think they like brought Mahit like sheets or clothes.
Oh yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they try to make their way back. You don't really know about 12 Azalea, but like they run into the sunlit, but like they kind of sort of coax the sunlight to say that like there is like a disruption in the information ministry, like you gotta go check it out, and then they trick them, the system, because again, the AI is, as we know it, not perfect, and they go check it out, and then you're left with just going back to Ads' apartment.
Yeah, it really felt like a these are not the droids you're looking for moment.
Yeah, but it was mixed with that with like actual emotion because like 3 Seagrass starts bawling.
Yeah, they were like screaming and crying.
Yeah.
Because it was actually very sad. Yeah, and they make
like
it
half trying to trick the system and also half just, actually being sad.
Yeah, genuinely hysterical because this is not a good situation.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, like, at the beginning, like, when, I forgot what part it was, but I think when, oh yes, Dimension of Civil War, like, 3 Seagrass was almost crying, like, weeped a little bit, and then obviously all of this stuff is happening, and, like, you learned a new side of 3 Seagrass, because you're used to her being, like, sassy, smart, a little, well, very much sarcastic, but, like, playful, but also very serious, and all of a sudden it's just like, like she has so much unconscious like patriotism towards her country and like her history and culture and stuff like that it's just like crumbling around her. So there's the old, oh no, it's my fault, I brought you guys to this mess. You're like, no, don't you dare say it. Much more tension and hand-holding.
And hand-holding, you're right. They hold hands.
Very lewd.
So lewd.
And don't let go. I can't believe they didn't censor it. I was waiting for a little censor bar when he said they grabbed onto her hands.
Yeah. How do you visually censor bar? Or sorry, in a written word censor bar.
Yeah.
I know. I wish there was a little thing in the top that said redacted.
Oh my god. Okay. Are there any kids in chat? I'm so sorry. We talked about hand holding on stream.
So sorry. Although.
Sorry. Yeah, we didn't mention that this is a very, very adult stream about hand holding.
Very adult themes. PG if it's about war and coups, but hand holding, I mean, dare I even think about it?
Yeah.
Rated R for intense hand holding.
So true.
Yes, I don't think there was anything else.
No, there is some other stuff. They make it to 19 Ads' house again, basically, where she resides. Ads is extremely kind to 5 Agate. She's like, you did really well. Go over here and take care of your gun wounds. But then she turns to like 3 Seagrass and Mahit and she's like, what is going on? You need to tell me what's going on because why did you send that? Through, like, why did you tweet that out there? Now all the protesters are chanting it.
Imagine someone chanting your tweet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, someone like boosted the tweet. They used like they didn't even edit it the first time. It was like, you know, it got so much traction that you want to delete it. Like
Some asshole turned into an NFT and started selling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the public channels. Like you heard of Ethereum. It was just a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah, at one point so basically Mahit tells 19 ads everything that's going on, like that she received communication from LaSalle Station about the unknown eating alien entity, and she needs to tell the Emperor right away because it's extremely important in the Empire.
Wait, did we ever talk about what the code was? Like after she decoded that message from Dark?
No!
We actually didn't talk about that, did we?
No!
What's up?
We actually didn't explain, like, the whole reason that they got Iskander's brain back was to decode that.
Yeah, it was
Never
to
told
decode
Kat.
it. Oh, I
know
read.
it did mention it. Yeah.
I read what was decoded, but
Maybe I'm just not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said that there was coordinates and like
yeah, there's coordinates.
perimeters where there is like
Yeah.
what's it called? Enemies and like unknown
Yeah.
space that won't like negotiate.
Right.
Yeah. Code. Yeah, the code was just coordinates, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. We did talk about it.
I think.
And
Oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say that Mahit finally let, like they were talking to 19 ads, but like he finally let Iskander talk to ads again.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like, "Hi, how you doing? You sure did let me die, huh?"
It's like awkward. It's like super awkward because it's like watching a parent talk to an ex, except
It's
you're
true.
the body and they're talking through your mouth.
It's true, and 19 ads is very uncomfortable. She's like, "Why is your face doing that? Please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop looking so much like him."
Yeah, she was just going like blah 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 and blah 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 blah, and she's like, "Then I miss you," and then like made the smile, and she's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Like, come on, ads. Like you've been through so much worse. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess speaking to the dead is technically
Okay.
Turns
kind of a new thing.
out 19X does have a heart behind all the drama.
True.
Because she was like, it turns out she was the one who poisoned Mahit.
Mm-hmm.
But then she changed her mind last second. And she's like, I can't.
Well, actually, she knew that 30 larks % that poisoned flower, and she knew it was poison. And she was like, "Oh, well, I guess she's dead." But then she stops at last second.
Yep.
She had like inner turmoil there too.
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't sure what to do. It wasn't that simple.
I guess I missed that. It was gonna be poison.
No.
Just, like, again, the obvious, like, that's who did it.
Yeah, like everybody
Turns
wants
out-
Mahit dead.
Yeah, but the guy named under a flower who has flower pins was the guy who said a poison flower.
Yes,
Yep.
they
How
asked
mysterious.
If,
How mysterious. And it turns out it wasn't. Okay.
like, they asked like, "Oh, who's the person that sends these type of flowers?" And it's like, "Oh, 30 Larkspur probably sends those." And what did you do? "Oh, I watched you picked it up." "And why did you just let me pick it up?" She's like, "I was just gonna let you die."
Mm-hmm.
And then she had a heart.
She had a heart, yeah. And this is the part I kind of skimmed over, so if you guys remember, please take over. Before, like, after Mahit spills all of the beans, is like, I need to talk to the Emperor very quickly. They, do, like, a blood ritual. Mahit, 3 Seagrass, and 19 ads. I think because it's like, I think it's because 19 ads is going to show those two, like, Emperor super secrets that no one is supposed to know about, and like it was like a blood ritual of super trust.
Yeah, there wasn't like any magical properties. It was just
No,
like a
no.
very old wimey-timey
Yeah,
tradition.
the traditional style, like
Yeah.
ancient Aztec.
Yeah, it was very ancient Aztec-y.
Yeah, I think because they did say like they used to do this back when they weren't even intergalactic or interplanetary. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and they used to drink the blood, but they don't do that now. Which is probably good.
well, they said this was back when they only owned one continent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that,
Wow, Throwback Thursday, you know?
We're back Thursday. Blood
it's
rituals.
Wednesday, my dude.
It's Wednesday, it's true. Yeah. But yeah, that's the rest of that.
And then Margit was surprised because she was like, I don't feel any different.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, just another, like, the magic of the Empire just being, like, actually just a normal thing.
Yeah, when you do like those rituals or like any religious or like just cultural ritual and you're just like, I thought that would be more. I thought there would be more. I thought it would feel special, but no, it was just like we
just
mixed our bloods together.
Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah, so
Good
that
night,
was
Daragar.
Oh, good night, Daragar.
that was about it.
Yeah.
She mentioned the message and said, I guess I'm taking you to the Emperor. Let's go.
Yep, and they walk for like 45 minutes in these underground tunnels to get to the bunker where the Emperor is hiding.
Okay, so can you fill me in exactly what was happening outside though? So we have 30 Larkspur people going on a riot, and 1 Lightning people going on a riot, and they're fighting.
Yeah.
And then the other people are chanting 3 Seagrass and Gates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
And then there's also Sunlit there.
The Sunlit are also fighting, yeah. It's kind of like everything is chaos.
Yeah, this is a whole shitstorm.
And they can't walk above ground because they're like slowly encroaching on the palace. Even though the Emperor isn't in the palace, they don't know that, so. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's pretty much what's happening. As far as I remember, that's what's happening.
Yeah, like if they weren't chanting 1 Lightning, they were chanting 30 Lurfsker, even though 30 Lurfsker was trying to use this time to like usurp the Emperor using like very shady means. And then if they weren't rooting for either one of them, they were rooting what were they doing? They were like shouting the poem that 3 Seagrass sent out, and it's pretty much like the revolution.
Well, and I think I don't know if it's pro Emperor, but it's pro not any of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally,
It's
pro
basically
anybody
like
but them.
all this shit that's built up. This whole book is all going down at once.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just chaos on the outside, on the above ground.
My question is why? Why now?
Why now? I think it's because he's on his deathbed.
I see.
I think
They're
so,
all
but
looking at
I don't.
House of Power.
They don't really explain it, so.
Yeah, because it
They really
seems real
don't.
convenient to be right when they leave that this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like the people thought that like the transition in a time of war or like exploration.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're right, because they
allow
had just
them-
announced the war too.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true. There
that
was
could
a
allow
lot
them
of.
to take over and like in the mass confusion. So I
Yeah.
don't know how it all boiled down on the same day, but it just did. You know.
I also, to a smaller extent, I think Mahit being there also made all these people want to set their plans into motion because they're like, oh no, what if Mahit gives the Emperor the Imago machine? We don't want that because everybody knows about it.
Yeah, and probably they also stole it from the body, and maybe they noticed.
Yes. So I think to some degree, that just, it got everything rolling, stealing the Imago too, especially.
Yeah, and I mean, again, this whole book takes the place of
It's
time
like,
of like 5 days.
yeah, it's like a week at longest.
Yeah.
Poor Mahi, she just wanted to enjoy the city and she cannot.
Well, no, it's definitely more than a week, right? Because it says like she spent a week, like at the very beginning.
Oh, you're right. It's like 2 weeks.
But like
Yeah.
when all this shit goes down, this is
I
Yeah.
think it's I think it's just over 2 weeks, maybe a couple days.
Yeah.
But like passages of time just seems to be like flip. Oh, here's what we're doing now. Here's how long it's been. Anyway, like,
Anyway.
Just wait until we get to that one arc of One Piece that takes place in like 1 day, and you're
Uh-oh.
like, how did this all take place in 1 day? What the fuck?
Oh,
maybe a
that
bit more
sounds fun
read-along to
though.
that.
I'm excited to read.
Yeah, we should do more read-alongs to that too.
Mm-hmm.
Just random ones too. Not everyone, but like the few ones we did were pretty fun.
Anyway, I'm getting off track.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so they go see the Emperor.
And the Emperor's like, hello, Mahi. You have what I want.
And then 19 Ads is there. She's like, dude, you can't. It doesn't make you immortal. or she doesn't say that. She's like, you shouldn't do this. And then Mahit's like, it doesn't even work like that.
Yeah.
Even if I give you the one inside me, you just have a scanner in you.
Yeah, you would just have a scanner in you.
Yeah, I just have this machine that has a scanner in it. This is not how this thing works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you really wanted to, you could kill me and you could put your scanner in whoever you wanted. Make anyone your scanner. Good
Make
job.
anyone a scanner. The scanner's like, no, quietly.
You get in the scanner. You get in the scanner.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
but
it. You get a
she,
scanner, you get a scanner. I only have two.
Mhm.
She finally goes over what this thing actually does.
Yeah.
And feasibly says we cannot get an Imago machine in you or to you or like set up for you within the time because you're literally dying.
Yeah, you're
Like,
literally dying.
They again describe him. He's like this translucent, gray, like hermited individual who's just coughing up a fit. Like you can, they describe that like he's like composed. Like people gave him different like injections to make him look better. They're like, dude, what is keeping you alive?
Yeah.
Chemicals.
Chemicals, yeah.
Chemicals, yes. Lots
Yeah,
of
I think
drugs.
they also like kind of convince him by saying like, look, when I came to you and I have your scanner's thing in me, am I a scanner? Like you don't become the person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even 19 Az is like, look, he's still Mahi. Like,
Yeah.
Shut up.
Like that's not how that thing works.
Yeah, that's clearly not
He's
how it works.
Gosh dang it. Well, 19 ads, you want to be emperor? She's like, what?
Doesn't tell her.
Oh yeah, you're right. He
Mhm.
says in his brain of brains.
His brain of brains.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Exactly.
his mind of minds.
They
His heart-
have a brief conversation. They obviously the Emperor and 19 Ads actually had like a sarcastic remark to each other. Like they've been longtime friends. But
Mhm.
she's like, Emperor, when have you never not trusted my judgment? He's like, yeah, once or twice I haven't. And like one of the times literally being killing Iskander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a
Yeah.
sassy little man.
And Iskander's like, yeah, you killed me.
Yeah.
He's so
Yeah.
bitter, which is understandable, but he's so bitter.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like, don't you dare take over my neural system. I am me. Your love affair is over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Living
you're
my
like
life.
three-way here.
Your three-way, yeah.
Your lewd
Yeah.
hand-holding days are over.
Oh my goodness, three-way hand holding.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
And that would be the perfect amount to handhold though, because if you have four people, some people don't have enough hands to hold the other
Exactly.
person.
What if, you have to,
True.
what if you have to hold something else? Like people on the left and right have their hands free. It's another pair of
Exactly.
hands just to hold something.
Mhm.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
maybe just two people.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they do all of that.
Yeah, all of
And,
that. All the hand
And
holding.
then they officially like actually speak in like a proper political, format, not just testing each other or like trying to get information out of each other. Like the Emperor asks Mahit, what should I do about everything outside? And then she helps him concoct a plan where he says that he was swayed by his what's it called? Like his echelon of people,
Yeah.
and that with this new information and the what's it called? He is endorsing the opinion that was given earlier in the book
Mhm.
from 8 Loop
Mhm.
that we need to make sure that the borders are secure before taking over or annexing sectors. That this information, we need to prepare for the unknown enemy, and that all of you should stop fighting because
And to like unite for that.
we need
Mhm.
to be, a united front. So,
Yeah.
that is
And
what they
Ainsley
decided
was
to do.
kind of talking out of her ass when she said that, but it turns out there actually is a big threat.
It's true. She wasn't like.
Or like, not talking out of her ass. The big threat was the political opponents.
Yes.
There's actually like an outside.
Yes.
Exactamundo.
Yeah, so in one fell swoop, a statement like that can discredit one lightning, elevate 8 Loop to being above 30 Larkspur in legitimacy, and it will show that there's like a genuine threat on the horizon.
Yeah, and then just like hopefully unite all the people behind it for common answer.
Yeah.
Exactly, and like the image of the Emperor, if he were to give that speech along with 8 Antidote, shows that like the power that he holds or his side is like forever here, or part of who should be going into the future. So it pretty much is the best plan possible. And he's like super receptive. He's like, you know what? Yeah, that works for me. Let's go do it.
Yep.
So they set up for like they have Mahit say a pre-recorded message.
Yep.
In the bunker where the Emperor is, showing that like this is the real account. Take my words for what they are. And then the Emperor goes to a different area, gets set up, and then he does his speech with 19 ads and 8 antidote. So who wants to go over that lovely speech?
We have something to talk about before we go over the speech.
Oh no!
While they're preparing, they have a moment of like resting, and Mahit and Three Seagrass are just like sitting in a room, and they're very tired and they're very emotional, and Three Seagrass apologizes and cries over everything that happened, and then Mahit apologizes and cries over everything that happened, and then
and that Hex
And then
and then they kiss.
the space lesbians kissed.
Yay!
I've been waiting the whole book for this, but it's a really sad kiss.
It's a
really
sad kiss, yeah.
They're like literally
then
sobbing into each
also-
other's face.
Yeah, and then also, Three Seagrass says something, I forget what, that kind of like offends Mahit.
Oh, I would have liked you even if you were, like, one of us, or something like that.
Yeah, and it's kind
Yes.
of like off-putting.
Yeah, she's not, like, mad about it, she's just like, you didn't have to say that.
No, I get it. I mean, like, they're intellectual enough where they, like, really understand the significance of it.
Yes.
But, like, certainly not the first thing I would say.
Yeah, definitely turn off.
Literally,
Yeah.
like, if you passionately made out with somebody, you'd be like, I really like you, even though your breath smells like garlic. I really like you. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I feel like the Seabat of his scenes.
Oh my gosh.
yes.
It's true.
So, that did happen, you are correct. I thought that happened during the speech.
No, it happens
So,
before
thank
while they're,
you.
like, logisticking it.
I was also confused on the timeline here because I was very tired when I was reading this last bit.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, 1 a.m. read club.
Yeah, he gives. It's not like I don't have this. Marked.
Oh, I have that.
If you want to read the
Yeah.
speech, go ahead.
I will be delighted to. Also, by the way, I put a highlight in a quote about it. Three Seagrass. She said, "Petal was always right about me." She said, he tucked a stray strand of her hair behind her ear and let her talk. I do like aliens, barbarians, anything new, anything different, but I also, if I'd met you at court, Mahit, yeah, then that's the quote for, if I had met you in here, I would also like you.
Yeah.
But I was just like, she likes the barbarians.
Yeah.
Ayo.
She's into aliens.
Yeah, she highlighted
she also
the alien
disliked
part.
her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also would be mad if I was constantly being called a barbarian, though. All.
Yeah. Good thing I'm short.
Yeah.
I'm a short barbarian.
Yes. Here. So they get set up. They're in like. Did they move to the Palace North or Palace Earth? Like through a secret tunnel, because they said they set themselves off in a very like, very exclusive spot for
Yeah.
the Emperor.
Yeah, they just they find a way to get there. I guess it's not super detailed.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and Mahit and Three Seagrass are like off to the side, or I think they're watching. They're like in the crowd, kind of watching the holo projection of it.
Yeah, they I think they stayed at the bunker area while the people went over to the 19 ads and everyone went over to the better place.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking at least, because they got to hold each other and schmooze a bit on a couch, so that's why I assume anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So here. He was speaking, yada yada yada, and said, through our great work in careful husbandry of civilizations, pruning where necessary, encouraging the flowering of society where it is most beautiful, we have together held this empire with my hands guiding all of yours. But now, in this moment of fragility, when new blooms are trembling on the verge of unfolding into the light of the stars, we are all endangered. Referencing a unknown threat. Some of you know this danger in your hearts, some of you have felt it in your bodies, and the sound of soldiers' feet in the damage inflicted upon our city, part of our civilizations, by our own limbs. And then he is asking, like, what is he doing? What's he talking about? Because, like, you can take a lot of very vague, like, understandings of both issues, both foreign and domestic, have impacted our city. And then, you know, she's like, what is she doing? And Seagrass is thinking, like, I think I know what he's doing. Let's see. The Emperor kept speaking, asking for a comment for reflection. Before the dawn, there is a quiet moment where we can see the approach of both distant threat and the promise of warmth. A mining station at the edge of Texkalani space, a distant eye that speaks to us danger observed. Your scanner is being sassy in between that, thinking about Darsh Tourette's thing. Okay. I want to read this whole paragraph because it describes it.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Emperor was holding a naked blade, a knife made out of some dark, shining material, translucent gray, and its sharpest edges. He shed his robe, it pulled around his ankles. All of his bones were visible, even though the light trousers and shirt he wore, every bit of emaciation his illness had wrought upon him rendered up for the eyes of the cameras. 8 antidote had pressed the side of his hand to his mouth, a child's gesture of distress. 19 ads was saying something, and he only caught the end of it and a wisp of my lord, I don't. 6 direction speaking. Texkalani requires a steady, even hand, a hand star-grazed, a tongue prepared, a fist that grasps the sunlight. In the face of what we are about to suffer, I, who have served you since I knew what service was, I consecrate this temple and the war which is to come. No emperor has, and not for centuries. I name as my immediate successor, and the executor of this war of preservation, the Ezwazwakat, 19 ads. Said 6 direction. Insincere for the child of my genetics, 8 antidote until the time of his maturity. The Emperor took 2 steps backward, in the center of the raised altar. With my blood, I sacrifice for us. Released, I am the spear in the hands of the sun. For words, Mahit, and 3 seagrasses, the poetry they use as a lure to get themselves free, poetry that was sung in the streets. 6 direction raised the knife, the sun glinting through it, and brought it down again. 2 swift cuts, high in the inner thighs, the femoral arteries gone to fountains of red. So much blood, and somehow, in the middle of that pool, 2 cuts more, from wrist to elbow, and then again on the other side. The knife clattered to the metal floor of the Sun Temple. It did not take him long to die.
Yeah.
The last little bit. The Emperor of Texkalan greets you. This is 19 ads, she said. Her face was wet. Blood, tears, wet and grime and absolutely determined. Be calm. Order is a flower blooming at dawn, and dawn is breaking now. There you go. That was the whole scene.
Yeah, so, Lunar Dick, he did, like, Aztec self-sacrifice.
Yes.
Because there's so many people fighting for the throne. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna die anyways. I'm so old, I'm gonna die. So, in order to name my successor, I'm gonna do the ancient ritual that no one has done forever. That, like, Mahi didn't even know, because no one has done it in such a long time. Like, yes. I will sacrifice myself to the Sun Temple.
Yep.
And that basically shuts up all the other competition because they're like, oh, we can't compete with that.
We can't compete with that, yeah.
Literally, as far as I know, like the Emperor is supposed to be the closest to the sun. So like holy is holy.
Yeah.
Other than the god himself. So like you said, Hex, you cannot compete with how like pure of a you know, what's it called? Like a baton pass of power that is.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. And because he did that, he could like name who would be the emperor for the time being. And
yeah. The thing is that is like 19 ads is still very powerful. 19 ads is actually quite strong. So there basically is no power vacuum.
Yeah, there really isn't.
19 ads was not originally supposed to be emperor, but now she's basically emperor until 8 antidote.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
can definitely handle the responsibility. She just
And
didn't
also
want
there
to.
Yeah, and now she kind of has to because her love, the Emperor, just like you said, fucking eviscerated himself.
Yeah, he definitely eviscerated himself.
Yeah. In the conversation before, the Emperor jokingly but not jokingly said, "Oh, 19 ads, do you want to be the head of the information ministry? You could do it if you want." She's like, "If you want me to, yeah, sure, but I
Yeah,
like
we
my
totally
job right
skipped
here."
over that the head of the information ministry got canned. Somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah, she could have held any position in the entire empire if she
Yeah.
wanted to,
yeah.
but she did not have to.
Yeah.
I just see one last little bit that Seagrass was talking about. She said she didn't know until she was up there next to him. Her brilliance, the edge shine of a knife. I guess it'll fit.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, they'll still call her the head shine of the knife.
So the Dobby mommy becomes the new empress.
Dummy mommy.
Yay, we have an empress!
It's praised and is based AF. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep. And also, they have to go to war with some new unknown stuff. So
Yeah, the unknown entity.
that'll also shut up the other people because it's like, okay, we have a common enemy now. We can't squabble.
Yeah, we can't fight. We have to take down this threat. Instead of the
Exactly.
infighting.
And the insurrection ended.
Yeah, the insurrection actually it like doesn't end immediately, but it falls apart real fast within like 32 hours. Yeah, they even say like one lightning soldiers were a bit more unwilling to slaughter large numbers of marching singing takes Kalanitsland than Mahit had suspected. The 30 Larkspur people just completely fell apart. And
What? We did not see him like fucking eviscerating himself and sacrificing himself for this.
yeah,
No.
right, no. He like doesn't matter anymore.
It's like they took so long to scheme. It's like
Mhm.
they're playing poker, right? And they took so long to scheme.
Yeah.
And then the other dude just like pulls out a knife or a gun or something. It's like it didn't matter. You're
Okay.
dead.
Exactly. So
I'm not
They,
a dummy mommy. Sorry to interrupt. But 19 ads could be my dummy mommy.
I was about to say, vote overruled. She is everyone's.
Were you guys looking for a dummy mommy?
Vote in the chat right now. I will answer your question. Yes.
Yes. So 19 ads is imagine like White Diamond but nice,
Mm-hmm.
but still kind of strict.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she oh, there's I'm trying to think of the character. I've seen her in like older sci-fi movies. Trying to think.
I don't know.
But she'd always play some form of like aristocrat.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
So-
I don't know anything off the top of my head, but she is a very strong lady. Somebody that like Sigourney Weaver would be, or something like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
It's like real strong. I imagine her to be tall, even though she's not.
Yeah. Even though
Like
everyone's
strong, sharp, bossy, confident.
short. Yeah. There is an aftermath. It's not very long. And it just mostly involves, I think before the aftermath, Mahi just like sits in her apartment and watches TV for like a day. She can't really do anything because Iskander is grieving the Emperor so much. Like he's just crying and her body can't like shut him down very well. So she's just chilling. But in the aftermath, she goes to the Emperor's funeral. Then she goes to 12 Azalea's funeral. She officially burns Iskander's body. And then one
the
last
funeral.
time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh,
All
the
the
funerals.
funerals.
Yeah. And then she gets called to meet with 19 ads. And she asks, what does Mahi want from her?
Oh wait, before that.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, was it before or after their conversation with 3 Seagrass?
Which conversation?
Well, hold on.
Oh, it's before.
It is, yeah. The conversation before was talking about like having her come over, help her with the mail, even though she didn't need to. They were gonna have a conversation after, and she's like, "Do you really even need me as your liaison anymore?" And Mahit's like, "Why don't you take the position at the information ministry? You were meant to be a poet, so why don't you do that?"
Yeah, because she's offered like a pretty high up position in the information ministry.
They like each other so much, but they gotta separate.
Yes, they have to go their separate ways.
Yeah. So they're like, I'll manage to do it.
I'll manage for
And
now.
then Mahi's like, she talks to 19 ads.
Yeah.
And 19 ads is like, well, what do you want? You've done so much. I'll grant any wish of yours. And she's like, oh, I just want to go home, man.
Yeah, in the
Send me home. And she's like, send me home before I change my mind.
Yeah, send me home before you.
Yes, like, you sure? She's like, no, I'm not sure. That's why you gotta do it. You gotta send me home before I change.
Yeah. Because LaSalle Station now is at no threat of getting consumed by the Empire, so that's not something she needs to ask for. She just wants to go home, and she kind of says it.
Yeah.
She wants to find, like, she thought that she was going to a place that she had always dreamed of that could become her home, but clearly it cannot become her home, or at least not right now. And so she's like, I guess I'll return to LaSalle, because that's my original home. And she gets on the ship and goes home. That's the end of the book.
Wow.
Indeed.
Yeah.
19 Ad just said, like, you know what, I really don't want you right now, so, like, technically, if I need you, I'll call for you.
Yeah.
Then I do a little
Yeah.
explanation, and ba-boom! The book is done.
Ba-boom. The book is done. Now, there is a sequel called A Desolation Called Peace.
Yeah, where they actually go and see what happened.
Yeah, so, as the author
Wait,
puts
is it with the same characters at least, or is it different characters?
It
Sometimes they do.
is the same character. Well, some of the same characters. It's about a memory called Empire is all about what's happening internally on the Empire, and A Desolation Called Peace is everything that's happening outside of the Empire.
Okay, so do we see more like Sun Station and what's happening with the aliens?
Yes.
I
Yes.
want to read it. I want to read it.
I'll say that much. And I will say Mahi and Three Seagrass are still there.
Yay! I'm still there.
that's
Well,
it.
I guess she's the
That's all I
emperor.
want.
She has to be there.
19 Ads is there too, yeah.
My favorite characters.
It's written a bit differently, but I don't think it's bad. It makes sense because there's a lot more moving parts. Her decision to change a little bit of the writing style. It's the same like prose, but perspectives change a lot more.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're both great books. At this point, because if we do decide to read A Desolation Called Peace next, I will maybe I'll change my mind. I do think that A Memory Called Empire is stronger, but A Desolation Called Peace is by no means like a bad book. It's still really good.
And I won a Hugo Award recently.
Yes, it's still really, really good. It's just different. It's more Star Trek-y, I guess, which I do love Star Trek. Don't get me wrong. It's just more.
Yeah, this was more like Space Game of Thrones.
Yeah, this is Space Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
And all the characters that do get introduced, I really like in A Desolation Called Peace. So, yeah.
Yeah, Space Game of Thrones with less people getting murdered. Only some people got murdered.
Only some people.
It was such a pointless death too.
Everyone, please, a moment in your hearts for 12 Azalea.
Like, Martine, why?
Petal was the real MVP. He highlighted all of our lives in different ways. A bit each, but yeah, it was yes. That I would say that was like the only, not my only complaint. Like I said, I had tiny little like wants. Like you said, in the next book to have more shifts in perspective. That's what I wanted to see from this book.
There will be more shifts in perspective.
So that'd be cool, like, to fill in some of the blanks when I was questioning along
Yeah,
the way.
it felt like there was a lot of stuff that happened like off the page, and I don't know if I like it or hate it because it was mainly Mahit's story in this.
Yeah.
So we learned information as she did, which is a good way to introduce a new world.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're right. Like there were sometimes some interludes where we saw different people's perspectives, and it was just like, it would have been great to like see 19 struggle with like whether she should let Mahit live or die.
Oh, totally.
Or 12 Azalea's like whole adventure escaping to the mist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I feel like if they ever make this movie, they'll definitely like do stuff like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like, I wonder, like, how. I guess they would just have a disembodied voice. Oh, wow! Hi, Parva!
Just like that.
Later.
Hi, Parva! Hello,
hello.
readers! Hello, welcome. We are discussing. Well, we are actually done discussing A Memory Called Empire, the book. We just got done discussing it. So I
Come
guess
join our book club.
Yes.
So we're going to start a new book.
yes.
We're also reading One Piece as a manga.
Yes, here, let me
Absolutely.
show
We're
my
deciding
book club.
book 2.
Shows you what we're
Yes.
currently reading.
We fully endorse and recommend that you read A Memory Called Empire if you haven't already. If you
Yes.
missed what we said, then you are spoiler free, and that means you have an entire 450 pages to yourself to enjoy.
And even if you did read our spoilers, we were cracking a lot of jokes and making it sound like anime tropes and stuff, and it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like, go read it for yourself and tell us what you
true.
think, and you'll be like, yeah, they're like Toto and Ron, totally right. It is exactly like they're the Dom and Mommy.
It is though.
It is.
Yeah, A Memory Called Empire is my favorite book I read in like at least 5 years, so I highly recommend it to you readers. Hello, welcome. Our next meeting we're going to be talking about One Piece, so if you like One Piece, you should join us then.
Yeah, so these two kiddos, Trip and Realm, they've never read One Piece before. I'm the only person who's read all of One Piece, so we're gonna go through
Yeah.
the ending of Barati
Mhm.
and Arlong Park and Logetown are the 3 arcs for them.
Ah,
Yep. Exciting.
Uh,
And then,
so
you
much
know,
gusto to it.
I'm pretty
Mhm.
pro let's just move on to a Desolation Called Empire, but
a Desolation Called Peace, right?
Desolation Called Peace. Sorry, I read the word empire as I was saying it.
Right. It's on the screen.
Yeah, but I think I'll just like hold a poll, like a very tiny poll, like a 48-hour poll in our book club Discord. If you have opinions, join and vote.
Yeah, we'll vote democratically.
Yeah, I'll vote
Oh, please,
democratically.
yes. No vote is without merit. You also, if you have a great book that you'd like for us to try to read or recommend to other people, please let us know. This is, we only talked about, was it A Desolation Called Peace?
Yeah, but people have been
it is. We've only talked about it recently, just
recommending
because of
stuff like Discworld and what was that other one? Mistborn?
The Mistborn trilogy, yeah.
Mistborn trilogy.
I wrote personally put down. I didn't say this out loud, but I personally put down Howl's Moving Castle because it's short and fun.
Yeah.
yes, definitely a good one shot if we're thinking about. I don't know. We could definitely have sort of theme stuff. Oh, we're also occasionally we're hoping to do any sort of read-alongs in the future. Hopefully something thematic.
Yeah, for
any upcoming,
Halloween, perhaps.
Halloween, spooky stories.
Oh yes, that's a yes.
Anything like that. Anything community driven or just like something we want to reach out to you guys, enjoy together. Like all this stuff sounds awesome. So
Yeah.
I hope to see everyone hang out.
It's a comic book, but I just finished reading Genderqueer by Maya Kobab.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
I'm gonna put it on my list because why not?
Oh, more stuff, more juice. Much appreciated for the
Whoa,
recommendation,
this looks
Parva.
super cool. Whoa, Parva.
Yes. Also, I'm very sorry I didn't introduce Parva because we were in the middle of it. Parva is a Mer sea slug. He is really cool, and they do very cool art, and they play like mobile games, and you should check them out.
Slug Brigade is taking over.
Yeah. I showed you up, but it didn't say what you were playing. I think maybe I have to reset stream elements.
Too bad
I'll just shout you out again. Yeah, I don't know. It's broken. I'm sorry. But yeah. Yes, thank you very much for the raid. You were drawing tonight. Okay, cool. Yeah, you should definitely. I love your art. It's very cute and pretty.
And speaking of art, I'm looking at this genderqueer book. Real good.
Yeah, looks good.
But
You're an artist, Barbara. I love you already.
The, gender queerness. And it's a memoir too, so.
Oh wow. There you go. More genres, more variety. I could appreciate that.
Yeah. But yeah. I think in the next 48 hours we'll have our next book club book. And then sorry, let me look at the dates. On the 20th, we'll talk about One Piece. I don't know, any closing remarks on Memory Called Empire? We can keep talking forever, but I'm just curious.
Let's give an overall star rating.
Oh yeah,
for Star Slug Book Club.
Star Slug Book Club.
Out of 10.
Okay, so
5 or 10.
Should we have a star rating and a slug rating?
Oh, sure. What's the difference?
So,
Porque no Lastos. Let's do it.
What is the difference between a star rating and a slug rating? I'm just
that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe one is personal, how much you liked it, and slug rating is.
So objectively, do you think it's a good book?
Objectively, do you think it's a good book? I guess. Do you think other people would like it as well?
Chaos go!
Yeah, let's do. So let's
I give it 9 and I give it 36.
36 all-terrain
Tundra vehicles out of 36.
Yeah, this is out of 10 Tundra vehicles.
Yeah.
Yes.
You better be prepared. This is on the test.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay. So I think I would give the book 9 stars.
Oh,
there were some parts that I was like, I want more.
Mm-hmm.
I want more lesbians.
Oh yeah.
Space lesbians.
More interest in this, the interesting characters here. I think there could have been more build up in some places, and the ending felt like
it was
rushed, but it was very sudden.
It was fast. Yeah. I agree.
The mystery build up was good. Some of the mysteries kind of had the answers that you thought they would, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, definitely it was kind of okay. But it was really good, and I haven't been able to read books, fiction books, in a long time, so it's a good way to get back into it. However, for slug rating, how much I would recommend this book, I would only give it a 7. And that's because it is very politically driven. If you do not like political books, as in, not Democrat, Republican, whatever, but political scheming, who goes to power, who's in alliance with who's going to betray who, that kind of stuff, then this may not be the book for you. If you're a person who likes a book with lots of action, this is not the book for you.
Yeah, agreed.
Because there really is not a lot of action. The main character is an ambassador, not a warrior of any sort.
Yeah, it's more about talking.
Yeah, there's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of poetry if you're really into poetry. So I think overall, I would still definitely recommend the book and give it a shot, even if you don't think you'll like it. But I will say, if you're looking for a book with a lot of heavy action, this may not be the choice for you.
That's fair enough.
But yes, there are space lesbians.
Yeah, there's space lesbians.
Yes, there's space lesbians, and there's also space gays.
Yeah, and space gays.
And they don't make a big fuss about it. They're just yeah, I like her.
Yeah, I mean, then there's a Scander who just likes everybody. Oh.
I guess to explain it for my synopsis is it is isekai into a new world and a new culture, and they find out that this culture is not what they thought it would be, so it's very relatable in that way. And lots of political intrigue of who did the do, who murdered the ambassador, the previous ambassador, and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, that was fine.
Yeah. Realm, you go next.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Unless you want me to.
I would say no. I do best when I'm shooting from the hip, so
Okay.
I'll just go at it. However, I would give this a very specific 8.75
Okay.
out of 10. Reason I don't know, but I will go with it. It is a really good, solid book. I'm in a similar well as Hex that I haven't been able to get into like actual book reading for quite a while. I've gone between different mediums and between studying for a long time. I just like never got into books because like why am I going to read a political book if my major was political science? So like by that point I was just sort of over reading stuff for a while. But I'm very happily surprised and actually like ecstatic to read it. It took me a little bit to get into it the second time to read the second half of this book, but once I was in, I was like hooked to it. That might be my bias towards political mysteries or political thrillers, and a bit of intrigue, but I was very surprised by the book, and I would read it again if someone had me to. Just even for like referencing stuff or like having my friends read along. I do recommend it to people. I have for at least my cousins also like science fiction or just regular fiction novels. I would say a Slug rating. I would do an 8 out of 10 Slug.
Okay.
Just because I don't know. I think if you don't expect anything, and I just give you the synopsis about a new ambassador headed to a new world to take the place of a predecessor who is mysteriously gone missing, and you're here to, figure out what's going on. Like, I would get started into it. The first chapter or two that's getting you into the setup of it all, if you can get past that, you're like really driven right into the world more practically than just like a blot of notes saying like, here's everything you need to know about LaSalle and Texas culture. But I do think it's strong enough where most people will just kind of skim through it and then they'll actually get into the thick of it and then go, whoa, there's so much, but I'm enjoying it. Let's figure out what else is going on. Like I said, I had those minor comments about different perspectives or like things being sort of left up in the air or very like abrupt stoppages, and like for the most part I enjoyed like how nice the poetry was, but at some point it just like it was elaborate, and all of a sudden like clunk, here's all the news, let's just get on with it. I'm like, wait a minute, may have been put off a couple times, but I really enjoyed it otherwise.
Yeah, you're definitely right. If you're not the type of reader who is like, if you like a lot of what's the word, like dry prose, where they just kind of tell you what's happening, this may not be the book for you, because there's a lot of like, especially with the dialogue, there's a lot of speaking in subtext.
Yeah,
basically they're like subtweeting each other what they're meaning.
It's true.
They try to explain it pretty well, so you still pick up it up. But yeah, I know that there's a lot of like that. If you're not a big fan of like people basically like calling people out passive aggressively, this might not be the book for you. But while I don't like that in real life, it's really intriguing to see that happen, because it's like they're playing mind games with each other.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, and when you can pick up on it, you're just like, whoa, that's like amazing. It picked up on a lot of unique things and then just worked with it really well. So that's why it carried itself.
There's a lot of unique culture and technology.
Indeed. What does the hostess with the mostest have to say about it?
Oh, me? Okay. Well, coming from the perspective of I read a lot of sci-fi, to me, this is like a 10 out of 10 book. And the reason why, it actually has nothing to do with just the fact that it's a sci-fi book, so I like it because it's sci-fi. I think Mahit herself is like the first time I've read a book in a long time where I truly connected to the character. Her experiences were completely foreign, but at the same time, they sort of paralleled things I was going through at my life at the time, which definitely flavored my enjoyment of the book. But even reading it again, it was like the same type of feeling. I'm not like going to like get into it too much, but like I studied Japanese for so long. I got into a Japanese like job, and I was talking to Japanese people all the time. And the thing was, I was never trying to like become a Japanese person or anything. I was like, yeah, I'm like an American. That's totally fine. But you still want to connect with the culture you studied for so long on a certain extent. But no matter what, there's always just this divide and feeling like you're other. Just because it's not you. Just because that's how I was treated at work, kind of, and also that's just kind of how it is, I guess, in the business world. So I really felt for Mahit, because I was like, me too, girl, me too. No one likes me except they're being polite. Things like that. But also I think in terms of like sci-fi that had come out, like this is very different. Well, one, the characters just didn't. Everybody just liked everybody. Like sexuality didn't matter, having babies didn't matter, and I appreciated that in the novel. All the characters were very charming to me, and I liked that even like side characters could be joked about, like Six Helicopter, even though he was an asshole.
And 36 all-terrain tundra vehicle, even though he never actually showed up.
He never showed up, right?
I wish they were saved in the Providence, the outside Providence, by 36.
That was so funny. Oh my god.
So he's gonna show up in the next book, and he's gonna be like, I was the mastermind behind it all along.
But yeah, I like heavy political books like this, so I feel like the book was like written like for me in mind is what it felt like.
Definitely written for you and your experience. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just really loved it, and I also think it's written pretty well. I do agree that Martine does get wordy at times, and sometimes the prose can get really long and heavy, but I still loved it all the way through. For a Slug rating, though, I kind of agree with all of you. I actually feel like it's a 6 because it is so heavy. It's if you're not an avid reader and you're just trying to get into reading, it really depends like on your interests and what you've liked to read in the past, whether I would recommend this book to you.
It's so weird that you rate it so highly, and like the higher the people,
it's
like
true.
the higher the reviewer rated it, the less they recommended it.
It's true. After
7 for Slug rating.
I want to give it higher, but now that we've read this, and a lot of people in the book club did read it, seeing how many of my closer friends that were also reading alongside of me dropped it, I was like, okay, I kind of get this now. This book isn't for everyone. Because in my mind, I was like, it's flawless. And then I was reading it again. I was like, no, it's not a flawless book. It's definitely not.
Definitely, like, if you're into that kind of like intelligence, like counterintelligence kind of like stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not like a spy thriller.
No.
It's not really a thriller at all. It's more like a murder mystery type.
Yeah.
Which again, it's right up Trip's.
Yeah, I love murder mystery books.
I guess I could understand. I think my appreciation towards it was that like I could understand how deep, or now that you said you guys read a lot of political, sort of novels, so you understand how deep someone could have gone to explain all the interloping relationships, but they kind of kept it calm for the sake of the literary aspect of it.
Yeah.
Feels more real that way.
Yes. Oh, that was 100%, like even 200%. That was like the fact that it could get real, and it didn't feel like it could take you out of the immersion because it was getting real when you needed it, rather than you just wanting it from the beginning. Like I felt that was like done really well. She wrote so like fluidly.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that while there were parts that were missing, a lesser author might have made this into a whole convoluted, long-ass series. But, she said what she wanted to say. Mm-hmm. She didn't, spend too many chapters of, fighting every single faction.
No.
And she told the story that she wanted to tell.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like she didn't leave.
Yeah, it's definitely not like Game of Thrones, not to downplay Game of Thrones, it's entire. But, those are really, really long books with a ton of factions. This is just one book.
Yeah, it's just one book.
If you don't have the time to get into deep, long ass political stuff, This one is not too long. They maybe
No.
spend like one chapter with each of the factions.
It's true. And it's only a 2-book series. So.